We are back. Welcome everybody to ProBots here on YouTube, and welcome back Endersword for day 4 of our tournament.
Indeed.
Are you ready to eliminate some more bots
I am
tonight?
quite ready. I'm quite ruthless today, and we got to eliminate stuff.
That's right. We've got 2 bots we're eliminating now. This is a GSL style group, correct? And we're moving on to Group B tonight. So we did Group A last week. Definitely go check out those games.
Yeah.
We had some awesome matches between some of these top bots here. And tonight we're going to have even more. And we have some really exciting ones tonight. I think we've got a lot of Terrans tonight. 3 Terrans and a Zerg for your viewing pleasure tonight. It's going to be fun. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you hit that little thumbs up button below us to get us a little visibility. Get more people in here. Tell them all about ProBots. This is the future of StarCraft. And it's happening now. So is it the present of StarCraft?
I think
as well as the future? Can it be both?
It's currently happening. So it's kind of like present. Every moment, the future becomes the present.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I'm from the future or something, but I'm entering the present.
Thanks for joining us here tonight on these for these beautiful games.
Glad to be back. As you can see from the label here, I was Ketrock last week. But
we'll
Ketrock was gracious enough to fill in last week, and
he was great.
Yeah, so it was a long night last time. A lot of good games,
and we'll see. It might be a long one tonight too. We have the same amount of matches, so let's go ahead and take a look at our recap. Kind of what's going on. We've only got a couple weeks left actually in this tournament. We're really rushing through this one to get it done before the Christmas week, and we'll have our grand finals. I think next week, next Saturday. So that's coming up real quick. Make sure you all jot that down. Next Saturday on the 16th of December, we will be doing our grand finals sometime at like noon or 2 or something. We'll let you know exactly the time. But here is our format. This is what we have done so far, how we got here. I'm sick of talking. You want to tell everyone about this?
Yeah, so basically we did a qualifier bracket into groups. So you had to qualify into the group stage. So we had everyone seeded from the AI ladder and our previous tournament. We're now in those group stages in Group B. So there are players from that qualification stage added now to players that have already been seeded in. And we're doing the GSL style group bracket. So basically... did our stream end, or was it
just on our end? Well,
okay. So we're basically doing 2 players will play, the other players will play, the winners of that will play, the losers of that will play. Then the winner of the winners is qualified through, and the loser and the winner will play. So I think we probably have a graphic of that, but it's kind of the most popular format in any StarCraft tournament. So people probably are familiar with it. And then the 2 that get through each of the group stages go into our finals, into our final bracket. So we're kind of we're bracket into groups into mini bracket, basically.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So we've got, that means 5 matches tonight, 5 best of 3s. We're going to have our 2, basically double elimination at this point. So we'll have, our group of 4. Only 2 get out. The first one to get 2-0 gets out, and then we'll have, whoever gets 0-2 gets knocked out, and then we'll have the losers match or whatever that's called. Anyway, we're still live, right? Yeah, I think we're still.
I think so.
Yeah. Or here,
probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So this makes it more clear. So we've got Tier and Micro Machine first. The winner of that will move on. The loser will drop to that bottom bracket there, and then Kanenana versus Ketrock again. Winner moves on. Loser drops to the bottom. It's weird that we've got a weird format of it's single elim into double elim into single elim.
Yeah.
That's
I kind of like it though.
Yeah.
It's worked out. So I think it's worked out well.
It is the way that they've done like a lot of, the larger scale, like SE2 stuff, because they still want kind of the more open, allow more people to qualify in, but then still want to advantage the people that have done well in past qualifiers and like give them a leg up. So that's kind of the idea. And then it's always been anticlimactic whenever there's a double elimination into the finals, because you end up entering the finals where someone already has an advantage and where the 2 players have already played. So it kind of makes it a little less climactic. So in this
You
one,
say that. Last
Yeah.
week we had
true. Yeah.
Phobos versus Benbot, and that went one way the first, and then flipped out the
True.
other way. You know,
But then that's not our grand final.
that is
or
also not
anything.
our grand
Yeah.
final. Valid
So
point.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also more maybe stark with humans sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Dude, that group is stacked. Did you see all the names in there? Tier,
indeed.
Micro Machine, Ketrock, Kaninana.
Yeah.
Kaninana's been looking really strong. I think Kaninana might make it out of this.
I kind of think that's a good possibility as well.
Possible.
I feel like Eris has left the tournament and Kaninana has joined with the same tactics.
Yeah, well,
Like-
Eris became enlightened and is
Yeah.
playing as a different race now or something.
turn.
so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Eris became Phobos, another dwarf planet. Or no, it's a moon now.
Mars's moon, yeah.
Heavenly body, small heavenly body.
Yes. There's a lot of them. We looked up last week. There was like,
Oh yeah.
oh god, how many? Like 70 something moons or something now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at least I think Saturn itself has at least like.
Well, now I gotta
70
look it
moons.
up again. Well,
Yeah.
here's our matches for tonight. While we take a look at these, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
Tier is looking really strong. We've seen Tier switching it up from Protoss and is now playing as Terran after a little bit of random here and there. We only have one random bot, but Tier is going for Terran this time. And
Indeed.
I am always excited to see what Tier can bring. We have had updates as well, so all these bots could be bringing something totally new. We'll take a look at that once we hop into the game. We'll see if there's any significant updates to mention. But I think Tier and Kaninana get out of the group. That's my.
I
That's
think
my prediction.
that's possible. I'm not sure. I was watching actually Ketrock stream the other day, and he was doing some of his coding on stream and fixing some issues or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's in pretty good shape too. Micro Machine here is still at a very high elo. We know that this one hasn't really been significantly updated in a while, but it's just still very strong.
Still crushing.
So
Still crushing bots, man.
So I'll never count it out, but yeah, I don't know.
Jupiter has 95 moons that have been officially
Yeah.
recognized by the International Astronomical Union.
And Saturn has 146.
Oh, is that more? Oh.
Yeah, there's more for some reason. Even though Jupiter's the biggest planet, it doesn't.
Oh, damn! Yeah, Saturn has 146 in its
Yeah.
orbit. Okay, yeah, that must be what I looked up last week.
Yeah, but that's one of those things again of like, what's the definition of a moon exactly? Because some of them are very, very small, and like if you count things like there's rings around Saturn and Jupiter and Neptune, I think. So.
Oh yeah,
you know,
they're finding rings around planets we didn't
Yeah.
think there were rings
Yeah,
around
yeah.
with the new telescope and stuff. Pluto, I still count Pluto as a planet. I'll die on that
it's
hill.
Debatable. It's debatable.
Very, very debatable. Anyway, our first match is just about ready. Once again, hit that little thumbs up button. I know there's more people watching than there are thumbs up at this very moment. Give us some visibility. Help people find this channel. Get them in here so they can see these bots in action. We have got our first best of 3 ready here on day 4 of ProBots Group B of our round of 8. Let's go ahead and hop into Tier versus Micro Machine right now. Hoorah.
Tier. Micro Machine.
A lot of people do watch the VOD, so it could just be bots
do.
watching at the moment. It's a lot of bots or
Maybe.
something. Are you all bots watching, or are you humans? If you're a human, let me know by hitting that thumbs up.
Indeed, that's our like CAPTCHA test. If you hit the thumbs up,
Yeah, exactly.
then you're not a robot. Tier out here with the old proxy barracks coming on down.
Ooh boy, Tier. Oh yeah, this is a little TVT. Micro Machine's really good at defending proxies. We'll see if Tier can hold this out. I mean, any cheese, Micro Machine is pretty good at holding it. He's really been everyone's throwing everything at Micro Machine to try to beat him. So
Yeah, and they do. He's another one that's doing it right in the path of where Micro Machines Reaper's probably going to go. So it will likely not evade detection, but CC first here on the, or not first, but CC fairly early on the high ground. And yeah, they're starting a Reaper now. The Reaper will likely path to these barracks. One will be finished at the time. The other may not be, or will be just about finished. And yeah, it looks like he's pathing right by, but he should see them. Very often, Micro Machine does not stop. Will just continue across and go to the other side, which I think is generally the right thing to do.
Yeah,
is just get in their mineral line and start messing things up.
That can do a lot more than just buying 10 seconds with your Reaper to delay theirs for 10 seconds. Go do
So
some
he
damage.
does see it.
There he goes.
There's no like SCVs building there or anything. Hopefully he can scout that and see that the tech lab is going and know what that means, which is concussive shell Marauder.
Yep, I'm actually looking at Tier's updates right here, and since this is the first submission that's actually getting used in ProBots for this, I guess, most changes involve picking builds against the various opponents. So there's actually specific builds for versus Micro Machine Ketrock and Kaninana here. And Micro Machines is a Proxy Marauder build. So Tier's feeling confident that the Proxy Marauder can bust through. Maybe he's been doing some practice on the ladder and testing against Micro Machine. Again, these bots play all the time over at AIarena.net. And they can, you can queue games against specific opponents and that kind of thing. So no doubt Tier's been practicing. Here we go.
The control here is really weird, though. I don't know what the hell these two guys are doing.
I feel like we've seen this. We saw this one of the last times Tier played. Like one of the units was just derping out a little bit. But here we go. Now they're all firing.
So he's in a better state now, but a few of these are really low, and he'll lose another. He does have the Reaper on the other side already going to town on these SCVs. A lot of them are really, really damaged, but not dying yet. But once he gets to the point these are all red, they're going to fall really quick. It's a matter of can he get enough Marauders out to make the difference by then. And he's not quite whatever this one in the mineral line is doing, and they keep going there, it's really messing up.
It's something with the gas, maybe. We hypothesized, I think last time we saw something like this. These Marauders are still trickling in, but they're really taking more damage than they should.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
The SCVs have really stopped mining from Micro Machine, though, so they might actually be enough to stop the Marine production. If the Marine production gets stopped, then the Marauders can overwhelm the SCVs. Yeah. Oh, wow, look at this.
We got a Marauder back.
And there's still workers.
Yeah, with concussive shell, that one Marauder back may be able to eventually deal with this. And now he's got 5 on this side. And like you said, no mineral income really coming in.
That one Marine just got obliterated.
Yeah.
Oh, you're brutal. I think Tier's breaking through.
Yeah, it looks like he has, despite almost trying not to.
Oh, wow. This was
but Micro Machine is about to clear out like the remainder of the SCVs there, but he just kind of doesn't have anything to deal with these.
Yeah, I think this should be able to break through. Now, did the Marauder that went home for Tier, did that just, I guess it just walked all the way across the map, or does he have a barracks in his? It just walked all the way across.
Yeah, it just walked across. He's got the factory there now, which is really good decision making to be able to send one home.
Yeah, just
very
that's what
often,
I'm impressed by.
Yeah, bots will send like everything home, or they will, to like be able to send one and be like that's the appropriate thing to do is quite impressive.
That was really nice. All right. Tier has found a crack in Micro Machine's armor here, and there's even a follow-up. So even if Micro Machine lifts, I think Tier does have that's coming down to
that's the key. If he had lost all the workers at home, then there is some end game where they just lift up and it's a draw.
Yeah. No, I think Tier's good. Yeah, he's got workers at home. He should be able to get an air unit out, and let's definitely fast forward through some of this stuff. We're gonna have a long night tonight, I feel like.
Yeah, we'll see if
got some epic games coming. I'm feeling it.
See if Micro Machine can adjust, because I think the thing that really lost this one for him is that he went rack CC, and Micro Machine will often do more than one racks to open, and he didn't in this case. I think if he had 2 Reapers out, or like just quicker production to be able to take advantage and stop the
maybe.
Marauders. Because especially with the first couple of Marauders like were derping out and dying to SCVs, then if he had been able to get up 3-4 Marines, then I think he might have been able to hold it.
Yeah.
But did not.
Did not. Oh, that's a good question. How often are there draws in bots versus bots? I know in ProBots, not often. We very rarely get a draw in ProBots, but the ladder, probably more.
There were more. I remember, like back in the day when we were starting, and people didn't have like people would often not know how to deal with certain situations like floating buildings, or they would get in. Or you would just get to a point where someone had queued all their stuff up to the other person's main and they just didn't know how to find another base or anything. So then you would end up drawing. But yeah,
I didn't know that. Apparently we replay the game if they draw.
Okay.
Pretty often.
Fine.
I mean, you have to because it's a draw. Nobody.
Well, yeah, you'd have to do it anyway.
Yeah, you have to replay it.
Yeah. Okay, so it happens. It happens, and we hide them.
We just don't see it. We never see it on. I never see it. So.
Yeah, we should at least show if it's an interesting one. Like if they've actually played the game out and drawn, then that could be interesting. There are cases where I think most draws that I've seen in the past were cases where something just was bugged out more than anything, and it wasn't interesting. It was just they both kind of didn't.
Yeah, they just bug out and break. Yeah. Anyway, we've got game 2 ready. Let's see if Tyr can seal the deal and get a good position to move on, or if Micro Machine can come back. Let's go.
Tyr. Micro Machine.
All right, here we go. Game 2 on Royal Blood. Now, we do have some new maps, as I'm sure a lot of you have noticed. We're not totally up to date with the current patch of StarCraft or, that kind of thing. We're a little bit behind on certain things, but we do have some fancy new maps this season, which is always cool.
Do indeed.
And this is one of them. Yeah, we saw this a little bit last week and the week before. Anyway, we've got Tyr doing his Proxy Marauders yet again.
Similar thing again. We'll see if Micro Machine varies up at all. And got the first racks, and it was right after this went for the CC. See if that is the case this time. Also, just the way that the map is shaped, don't know if he's going to run down the ramp or down the cliff.
Yeah, it's a little far away.
He'd have to back up to get down there, but
he also has to go around that thing down on the low ground.
Yeah.
So which one's
I don't. Yeah, the way he sets his pathing, I'm not sure how it's going to go. We'll find out when it hops out.
Is it or does he choose to jump off the cliff regardless?
I think he just literally rallies to the base. He's not choosing a path, so it's just.
I don't know. His unit always controls when it comes out, though. Doesn't it?
Maybe, yeah. I guess he's. Well, we'll see what the additional. Yeah.
Oh no, it is just rallying. Yeah. Okay, so it does take
so it doesn't go.
Side.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
So he doesn't see it, but in reality, last time he didn't do anything. Anyway, when he saw it, it was more that he was on the path. But this time he's getting a factory right away instead of the CC. So that's going to make a difference. And he's also getting a second Reaper instead. So I think, again, that is going to potentially make a difference. If this Reaper just goes, I think that's best. If it tries to fight, then that's different.
It looks like it's going to stay on the defense here. Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. This Reaper's going to maybe get a few SCV kills, but it has to finish off that mineral line if it's going to stop Tyr. If Tyr's left with any workers, these Marauders are going to... This feels so much worse. What happened?
It feels quicker maybe to break in. I don't know. I don't think he sent any SCVs to try and repair this time. I think last time he did. But
the Marauders aren't bugging out either.
Yeah. Well, not yet at least. Yeah, but you're right. They're doing a lot better. There is a tank. There's a tank coming out, and the positioning and sieging of that immediately is going to make a big difference. Let's see what happens.
It does siege immediately.
does siege.
Marauders need to jump on it if they want to survive. They take a big hit,
Yeah.
but they will survive. And that tank is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. I think that's it.
I think it might be, yeah. If he had taken a second blast, he might have lost a couple there. You still have to have this part where one Marauder like makes it back home to ensure the future of the tier civilization.
Is that Banshee gonna get out? That's gonna be
that's
the breaker
part.
here. Tier's like he's
I don't think
targeting that.
It's not gonna
he's
make
not
it.
going for workers.
Yeah, it's not gonna make
that.
it.
Yeah, that starport's done.
Yeah.
Wow, Tier with some excellent decision making here, knowing exactly what to kill. It seems like, and now these SCVs are helpless. There's no Banshee to save them, and that's it. Tier has 2-0'd Micro Machine, and will be moving on to the winners match of this group.
Indeed.
Wow.
I do,
awesome.
I do want to see if we could just flip to the other side. Like, did that Reaper get taken care of? Yeah. Okay.
He's still going.
He's still going, but there's
got
there's a Marauder there. That's kind of what I was wondering, because that was a brilliant move last time, and I wanted to make sure that it happened again. But yeah, as long as the Marauder's there, he's fine. So yeah.
That was a fun series. It was a little quick, obviously with the proxy, that tends to be the case, but that was a fun match. I really like that. Tier with some excellent micro, a little bit derpy in the first game, something with that gas maybe. The Marauders just weren't firing,
did
but
something.
way cleaner here in game 2. So
yeah, definitely just stomped through. And I'm not sure what the defense there, like, I think making a tank is okay, but you needed to kind of have something to like cover for the tank.
Oh, it would have had to have microed and not sieged
or like had
Marauders as well.
Yeah. Or just pulled back a little, because it came out instantly sieged. I think if it like pulled back,
maybe it could get 2 shots off.
Get 2 shots off at least.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Micro Machine is way too predictable, according to the author of Micro Machine here. What's up? Maybe you should update Micro Machine.
Yeah, get on it. Come on, Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got another match here. So 2-0 here. Micro Machine's not out yet. He will go down into that lower bracket, the lower matches. But we have got our Zerg versus Terran now. Ketrok versus Kaninana. And this one should be a doozy. Now, this one I think is going to be a longer game.
Yes, I don't expect this to be short.
I do not expect this to be short at all. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, actually, let's take a look at, do we have some stats for these 2 bots?
Probably. There we go.
There it is.
So Ketrok, very similar to what Micro Machine's elo and win rate are. Anything above 2,000 is in the elite of the ladder, and 2,200 is quite high. Ketrok usually, again, a very patient bot, very clever strats, like use of ravens, things like that. But against Kaninana also, I think, wants to get into a later game. So if both of them are like patient and doing all that stuff, then who does that actually advantage?
I don't know. Ketrok is very strong late game though.
Yeah,
I will say that. But we'll see. Kaninana's been really picking it up and getting into those late game scenarios a lot more though. So
that's
could be
what I'm
anybody's
thinking.
game.
It's you get to that point where you've got like the free units or like the energy based units of like the ravens and the turrets, but then Zerg can also get to like brood lords and things like that, which also just launch free units. So
yeah. No updates for either of these. I mean, there's updates, but we don't have notes on it. So.
And so very similar elo here, 2,200. And coming on just becoming a late game Zerg. I think I remember the first season this one came in. I think it was like roach rushing at the very beginning, but that was like 4 or 5 seasons ago. Just becoming more and more solid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just very.
It does say. So I'm reading there are some notes on Kaninana that we've had for a while. Apparently, its worst matchup is ZVT, and it doesn't use all Zerg units. So I do know it does use some late game units.
Yeah.
a lot, like infestors and things like that.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Ketrock might have some special builds in order. Might have some cheeses we've been seeing in proxy here and there. Oh, we're ready. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Our best of 3 is loading up. Ketrock versus Kaninana on ProBots. Let's go.
Ketrock. Kaninana.
This is an anti-bot strategy I think we're about to see here. Ketrock, I believe, if I saw that chat correctly, mass mine opener.
It's a good opener.
So
like
we're gonna have mass widow mines potentially all over the map. I'm hoping to see it much like one would see creep spread from the Zerg. You know,
That would be fun.
Just a smattering of widow mines all on the Terran side of the map. Be interesting. It'd be way more expensive than creep tumors, but
yes,
it's doable.
More destructive than creep tumors.
A little more destructive though than creep tumors.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, we've got one gas going already. Just a couple workers on it. So we'll see how this pans out. Yeah, this must be one of the things he was working on his stream. Yeah, he's getting, like I said, he's getting a little cheesier these days. It feels like Ketrock always used to play really defensively with planetaries, and he still does, but
yeah,
mixing in these is good.
You got to put in some fun. So Ketrock himself has always just been a very creative, focused player, like in his own actual playing. It's been like, you know, Ravens, planetary rushes, like things like that, are just anything fun and out of the norm.
Something out of the normal meta,
yeah. So this will be an interesting one to see how it goes.
Kaninana sees the expansion, takes note of it, sees a Marine as well. So Kaninana's jotting everything down in his little notebook here.
Yeah, and he was going for a bunker first, and yeah, we're getting the Roach Warren.
So it's possible. Roaches then.
Burrowed roaches almost seem like a free lunch. Like there's never a case where it's wrong. Like it seems so efficient.
Oh, I thought you meant like a free lunch for Ketrock. Like Ketrock's just gonna eat it up.
No, they're quite the opposite. Like a free lunch in the economic terms of like there's literally no downside to getting burrowed roaches.
Yeah, I can't think of any downside of a free lunch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what happens here. Yeah, we do have roaches, and there's the burrow on the way. So I guess it'll be up to Ketrock to get detection in time. We don't have an engineering bay. We have an armory coming down, but no detection other than scans will be available for the time being, and he's using those scans on mules at the moment, so he's not going to have a lot of them. We'll see if these roaches
he's got a bit of time before that comes, and he may just rely on the fact of like, if you want to burrow, like go burrow then, because he's not getting like just stay outside and burrow, and then I've got a bunker. So
you got burrow battles going on right now.
Yeah,
look at this.
Yeah, and he's getting the drilling claws. So for faster, but there's no roach. It's when it becomes burrowed roaches with movement, then that's the scary part. Yeah, but he's not going towards that yet.
Yeah, it's a little ways out for that as well. But there's time. We'll see what happens here. Oh, Zergling gets in and takes the first Widow Mine shot. Now, the Widow Mine cooldown is kind of long, but we'll see. I guess if you have enough Widow Mines, you can just cycle them out endlessly, right?
He just did the swap out, yeah.
Yeah, you just keep sending the ones that need to recharge to the back of the line and pull them forward. There we go.
Yeah, he's massing them up there now.
And yeah, you can see it takes the shot. Okay, this one's going to hang out here.
Yeah,
oh, no, there it goes. It does unburrow. Oh, I like that. It actually delays it because right when it shoots, there might still be army there. and you don't want to unburrow it and have it potentially die to something. So if you wait a second, I think there's more of a chance maybe it gets out. That's just my initial reaction to that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pulling things out of my butt.
Yeah, quite possible.
Go Drilly boys.
It doesn't feel he needs that bunker anymore, which is probably the case.
Oh, right. He's going offensive with the Widow Mines. We're going to get a little hit squad here. This is awesome.
Yeah, see if he's going for, like, yeah, are we going for mineral lines, or are we going for choke points? Or
I think just whatever he can take.
Yeah,
You can see he's burrowing when the Zerglings come by, so he's ready if some army were to come by. But the Marines are a perfect addition to clean up any scouting, like a Zergling here or there, so the Widow Mines don't have to waste their shot necessarily. That was a good shot, though. Got a few Zerglings there. Nice targeting fire as well.
He almost got his own 2 Marines there, but they are still mildly alive for the time being. There they go.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Mildly alive. That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. And he did pull those all back.
Smart. Yeah, the Marines are expendable. The mines are expensive pieces of hardware. You got to keep those back. And Banshee's coming out too. Wait, does he? Yeah, Banshees. Vikings, Hellions. Well, okay, we're getting quite the composition here.
Now, is he going to move with these?
Do the Widow Mines make you, do you think, that much safer as an opener, or are you weak to certain things if you only, because he only had 2 Marines and a bunch of Widow Mines. Like, would a bunch of roaches have broken through that maybe?
You can, I mean, you'd certainly get a lot of, like, damage on them, I guess. It's really down to how well can you bait the Widow Mines and, like, how much someone's coded that in. Because, like, if you've got 8 mines, you can set them all off with 8 lings that do no splash to each other.
That's true.
Like, if an AI has no problem doing that, it's just whether you've coded that in. But, like, the idea of almost anything that is a splash damage unit is vulnerable to the fact that AIs can trivially unsplash.
Dodge it, essentially.
Yeah. So there is something to that, but it's more that there has to be splash with other things going on that prevent it from being able to do that, or make it pay a cost for doing that.
So we were talking last week a little bit about splash. There was an old video, Ketrock remember the name of it. I can't remember.
Of the tank splitting one?
Or the Zerglings splitting against the tank fire. But he was saying that the bots here don't have access to that.
Yeah, that one was cheating.
That was a cheat. Okay.
Yeah, that one was cheating. So tanks are harder. Anything that's instant like that is harder. But here, where a Widow Mine locks onto a unit, you're aware of it. Whereas a tank, I don't think you are aware of what it's going to target. It, like, you know. So you can't quite do that same thing. But here,
I see what you're saying.
There's like an actual line before it fires. It will pick a target, and you can separate away from that target.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because anything visual, I think the bots have access to. They can see anything that a human could see. So you would see it as a human and just split things up.
Yeah. So I think they are different. But you can also, I don't know how it responds. Then you can manually target Widow Mines, obviously. You can kind of juggle the targets to prevent them from firing too, and I don't know how the AI deals with that.
I don't know.
Because if you do nothing, it just picks a target and fires. But you can manually switch targets, and it restarts almost the wind-up.
Oh, here we go, a little bit of a skirmish. Zerglings are just trickling in, and that's, I guess, a decent way to soak up some of these mine shots, but... Oh yeah, it's starting to break through, actually. The Widow Mines are starting to have to pull back. There we go. All the Widow Mines are on cooldown right now, so a couple siege tanks will have to hold the line with no support until these Widow Mines come off cooldown. Roaches, Zerg's a little bit everywhere, though. Not really grouped together properly, so...
Yeah, and I think this is the combo you needed, because you could see there what the original tactic was. Individual lings coming in, being very, very efficient, taking them out. But then by being able to fall back to a tank line where you can't do that, it then kept most of the mines alive. Now, a bunch of lings come in, but yeah, look at how much they're cleaned up. Like
they got a tank for their trouble.
They got a tank, but that human control, that would have just wiped the whole thing. No problem. Yeah, and so he is paying a price for it.
A lot of Zerglings. They're the cannon fodder, but that is what they're for. If the roaches can stay alive, they're really the big damage dealers.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And you
they're
can
starting
see
to chip through here.
Yeah, they're everywhere here. It's almost following this portion of it is more the academic side of what's happening, but the violent side is what the roaches are doing, and they're both both of them have managed to take like their half of the map essentially. Kaninana is definitely kind of the one on the offense though. Now trying to get into Broodlord soon.
Wow.
But Ketrock has Banshees out. And I don't know that we've got a response for the Banshees once. If Ketrock gets solid enough footing to go on the offense, I'm not sure if there's a good Banshee response yet.
Well, Corruptors would be, right?
Corruptors
they're a little ways out, but...
Yeah. And he wants to, I think, turn the Corruptors into Broodlords.
He's got 3.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, that's going to be the tricky part. Does he turn too many Corruptors into Broodlords?
Infestors on the bottom is good. I don't know if there's nothing really clumped up at the moment, but he could do well with that.
Yeah, the air units definitely could in the future here, and that's what the Corruptors want. They want to pounce onto a nice group of fungal Banshees or something. So
yeah, here get detection of that spore.
The spore's going to help. It's going to kind of keep those Banshees at bay. Yeah, God, there's just units everywhere right now. We've got little skirmishes happening left and right. Zergling's still fighting Widow Mines. There are upgrades now for range units actually coming out, but we don't see any Hydras or anything like that, right?
Yeah, there's nothing like that.
I don't see any, yeah. Oh, I guess that's just for the roaches then.
Yeah.
I was hoping maybe he had Hydras coming down with it. I was like, oh, ranged attack upgrades. Get Hydralisks, but no. Just Corruptors. And it might be enough. We'll see.
Yeah, it's hard to really tell nothing's like full on breaking through yet, but they're doing a good job at kind of skirmishing. Both of them at 90 workers, counting on a near max supply, and Ketrock in the ballpark.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
We saw some of this a couple weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, doesn't even totally kill it after the neural.
No, we saw it out of Xena last week. I think we saw some neuroparasites, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think Xena definitely does them. Is he gonna finish off the? I didn't notice there were those turrets down early. If you neural something and then make turrets, are the turrets yours?
Yeah, because it's your Raven. Yeah. It'd be the same as if you had a command center and made an SCV from it, you know?
Yeah, so I think you must have had those turrets down before.
I thought you were saying Kaninana got some turrets down.
No, well that's what he got he got control of the Raven.
Yeah.
And there were turrets under the Raven, so the Raven must have dropped them before. Because usually, like when you neural something, you'll often just waste their energy, because that's part of the point of it.
Well, I'm pretty, Ketrock is really good at using that energy, so I'm sure he threw those turrets down first thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to look. Maybe that's one of those weird edge cases that's never really been.
I think he did. I just looked at it on the delay on stream, and they were blue, so I think Kaninana did.
So Kaninana did make those.
Throw them down. Yeah.
Okay. There are some Hydralisks. All right, that's gonna help start pushing this back. A lot of Hydralisks, pretty much pure Hydralisk production now. I guess Kaninana has given up on the not given up on the Broodlords, but just got enough Corruptors that now it thinks it can switch into something else.
Yeah, that might be the better thing to be on now, at least until you feel like you've cleared all this out.
With all the Vikings, you have to have those Hydralisks.
Yeah.
Look how many Vikings there are right now. They're kind of ripping through the Infestors, or the whatever the heck those things are called.
It's this chunk over here on the far right. He's got to somehow get like an Infestor in to fungal this pack, or else it's just going to get worse.
These Hydras seem very afraid of the Banshee. They're burrowing a little bit, just a little bit too much, a little too excessively here.
Yeah, they're not
just
coming
move forward
forward.
And fight. Oh, maybe they can't see it.
I don't think
the Overseer.
Yeah. Yeah, the Overseer would come into range. I think they would unburrow, and then and then they would run away. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the overseer would move out of range, and then they'd be like, "Oh crap, we can't see it. Let's burrow."
And here now
And then
these
that's
the
so-
mines are keeping him from jumping in on this, as is probably the planetary.
I mean, that's smart. He definitely does not want to move in with those hydras just yet. He wants to get a lot of hydralisks. You're going to need just a giant hydralisk death ball, I think, to start breaking through some of this.
Yeah.
And the overseers need to stay in range of the banshees. That's also going to help.
They're trying to, but then they get scared of the Vikings that push them out, and so they won't come in.
It's quite the dance, quite the little
Yeah.
back and forth.
It's the infestor dance over here towards the middle is, if they could get in and get one of these big packs, then I think that'd be there. We get more turrets coming out of
I like
one.
that. Using up the energy, and it does draw tank fire.
Yeah.
Can potentially damage the tanks. We do see very red,
Very
almost
red.
dead tanks here.
Yeah.
About to be broken through, I would imagine. 200 supply. Yeah, I knew. I had a feeling these bots were going to go the distance, and we're at 200 supply for each of them, and they both have a very healthy economy. So even these little skirmishes, it's going to keep going back and forth for a while. It's just going to become a war of attrition, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is someone going to mine out before we get to the end of this, or what?
I think you're certainly going to have a lot of bases mined out. I don't know that we're going to be 100%, but eventually, like a lot of these units that are getting tossed around are quite expensive. But a lot of those units also aren't dying that quick. It's kind of the more foddery units that are dying, but you see there, like another Raven was abducted, but it's not, it didn't die.
Yeah, there's no target firing there.
Yeah.
That would be the best. You take the Raven, throw the turret down, fly it back
Yeah.
over your hydralisks, and kill it.
Did he just neuroparasite a widow mine?
Yes, he did.
That's excellent. I like it.
Look at that. It's like underground. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, he's got a Viking here. Oh, there was some friendly fire a little bit. The Viking fighting his own friends,
Yeah.
and then he got off cooldown there and ended up surviving, but
He's been doing that.
doing that off and on.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing, even though I know he doesn't really want to switch into it and he's max supply anyway, but getting the Broodlords out, that was the direction Kaninana was going. And I think that is still a valid direction because it forces someone to come after you a little bit more. That's
Well,
interesting.
I see what you're saying because it would pressure.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop it as a pressure other than
Yeah.
you have no defense to protect your Broodlords, really. Like, you've got the Hydralisks. Maybe that would be enough.
Well, that's because you've got such range on them. I guess the idea is I could stand back with them, and you have to come to me to try and get them.
Ah, I see.
And
what you're
then I
saying,
can
yeah.
have things underneath them.
Have the Hydralisk just in front or whatever to
Yeah.
keep the Banshees and Vikings at bay.
Here, because
Okay, I see what you're
we just got this little dance going on the whole time. But yeah, if there was something that was kind of coming into a base and like throwing broodlings at it.
Yeah,
then
there's
I
really
think it
nothing to
creates-
stop
yeah.
broodlings. The Banshees are terrible at killing broodlings.
Yeah.
so.
Now here we've got a big breakthrough. A bunch of
Oh, wow.
Vikings went down, bunch of Banshees did, and now these Corruptors
Oh,
are
they're
going to
cornered.
get to this horrible position with the Hydra support. And I
Oh,
think
that's
he's
brutal.
just taking out a massive amount of supply here.
Well, that is brutal, but Kaninana needs to take advantage of it. Ketrock can
Yeah.
replace that very quickly, and
Yeah.
this is a very small, tiny window here that Kaninana could maybe start breaking through a base or something. Look at all those.
Yeah,
dark ones.
that's crazy.
Jeez.
It's this type of area that you kind of want to break in with something like Broodlords and get on. You always want to get on top of like Terran production. That's kind of your goal, but yeah, it's a tough going. But he's kind of all over the place. There's some good Corruptor use.
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Piss it down on the planetary, and with nothing there to really
Oh, no,
stop
stop.
it.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
he's-
the Viking drew him away.
Yeah.
You jinxed him right as you're saying nothing will stop it. It gets
Yeah.
stopped. I mean, it's still doing a lot of damage and costing a lot of money, but
Yeah,
That was
that'd be
stupid
fun
close
to
to
just leave there as a permanent drain.
yeah,
Would be
that's true.
interesting.
Actually, that would be nice because
He's got him pushed back a lot here. He took out the planetary on this right-hand side position. He's going after 2 other ones. That one's still being pissed on. Yeah, he's really done a lot to break through here.
Ketrock still does have a huge bank, so Connie Nana's going to need to keep the pressure up for sure if it wants a chance to win this. Ketrock could definitely get a force together and come back. The Hydras, I think, are starting to do a little bit too much damage, though. There's great upgrades on them, so...
Yeah,
and there's really no answer for them, is there?
Not really. Like, the answer so far was small groups of Banshees being enough to just kind of one-shot them down, because there wasn't, like, a big group of Hydras ever. There's just small groups of, like, 4 or 5. But now he's starting to get that up, and here you've got, like, that's a good example right here of Vikings that, like, dove in to try and take out an Overlord, but then there's Hydras underneath. Like, they were forced to close the gap, and then they died.
Alright, well, very scrappy still. Yeah, someone's saying 1+ hour games. No. If that's the case, Drex, you better start fast forwarding right now. If there's 40 more minutes of this.
Yeah, we got.
I think we're gonna start. I think we're about to hit a catalyst here.
I think so. Although you get the pushback, dead base here on the top. If this Infestor can get in at all and get a fungal off on this group, then that's huge.
Oh, but it's so tempting. Oh, it gets a Nero instead. Yeah, that's not what you want. Well, it does. The Vikings do kill it, so I guess that's one less Banshee. Yeah, that fungal would have been really juicy, though.
Yeah, I think he needs... If he gets another breakthrough like that, or another, like, clean wipe of the air, then I think that would be it. He prevents this base from coming back up.
Oh, man, blow for blow here.
Yeah. He did finally move the Corruptors out of that middle base.
Did you see Connie Nana had 201 supply for a flash of a moment there?
You can do that.
You can do that.
Yeah. Cancel ability. The extractor trick still works. Even into the late game. Yeah, these Corruptors trying to come back and do the same thing. I think the turret's helping them. If they could take down the turrets at this base, then this helps, but they're trying to target the planetary itself.
I mean, at this point, they might be able to just get the planetary. There's only a couple of SCVs still repairing. I don't know. This force is getting thinned out a little bit here. But...
Yeah, it's a matter of constantly being distracted by things again. Is they come in, they know what they want to target. This one finally goes down, though, to a flood of Lings and Hydras. And the Corruptor army coming on in, trying to take up this air position. They're tended. I think they're most scared of the turret that's right there. So this ends up being a bad place to fight. But there's a nice fungal there. Can he get a secondary on this? No. But good chunk, good bit of damage.
That's all. Kedrock has gone all in on the Air Force. These two have just been bashing up against each other. And Connie Nana has finally taken a decent amount of ground here. I think the Fungal Hydra might be a little too much for the Air Force to deal with, especially since these Banshees do seem very afraid to actually engage with anything. I don't know if it's the Corruptors or the Hydras they're more afraid of, but...
We're now hitting an interesting point now where I think Ketrock is starting to get lower on the mining, for sure. But he has a huge bank. Connie Nana's mining is still going pretty well, but there is no mineral bank.
Well, here we go. Banshees are going to get some work done here now. They're going to get another base. That's always helpful.
Yeah, take out the detection there.
Maybe not. Get it. Target it.
Yeah, I think it's come down.
Target the base.
They're targeting everything but. There you go. Yeah.
That's right. He got it. He knew he had it.
Yeah, if you can get it, there's a big fungal.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Not enough to finish them off, but does put a big hurting on those.
And
another huge one. Both the Vikings and the Banshees. If he gets a second on it.
Oh, he gets one more.
Any third?
One more.
Third one on the pack.
Are they dead? Oh my god, he needed one final one.
Yeah, a couple died there, but even the repair cost, if he does come home and fully repair those, that's nice. But
And
that
the
will
time too,
definitely-
it buys a lot of time because
Yeah.
now they've got to go home and repair and then
Yeah.
fly back before they can build another base. So,
Yeah.
no, I think the problem is this force, or the problem for Ketrock is this force breaking through. If Kaninana gets on to the starport production, that's where it's all over. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how big Ketrock's bank is anymore. If we start losing starports, it's just done.
Yeah, I think he's. It is a funny situation. He still does have a big bank, but he's lost basically his bases, and I think that bottom left corner now is mined out, and which is weird because his natural was not mined out. So he must have put more mules over here or something.
Even those middle bases are looking
Yeah.
a little sparse.
Yeah, this one is not up. Trying to get back up. But that one still has a lot of minerals. A lot of the ones to the middle definitely still have minerals and gas on them. Yeah, Ketrock not yet hitting. He's got nothing really to dump the minerals into. It's going to be the gas that ends up deciding it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because he's out of bases now,
Yeah.
pretty much for gas.
Yeah.
You'll notice the supply
Okay.
is no longer at 200 for quite some time here. Ketrock is getting right back up there.
Yeah, there now the crafter will take out that last mining base.
Kaninana out of money too.
No, he's spending it, but he's got income. His income
does he?
is
Okay.
fine, but you can see Ketrock's income is.
Oh,
down
I see.
zero.
Yeah, it's plus 500. Okay, yeah.
and that's fine. That just means he's got good macro. That's all.
Yep, I think Kaninana's broken through. The starports are starting to fall. There's not really a whole lot to defend them, so yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Wow.
chunk of army in there, but it's just attrition at this point.
Ooh, half-hour game. Not bad, not bad. A little long, but we've got a few more of these for y'all. 45-minute game is next. Here we go. Deep clearing, squad removed. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that earlier at the beginning. Ketrock made a little... I didn't see it, I don't think, fully in action, or like what specifically was the creep clearing squad. But that's a really nice thing to add in. A specific little squad with a dedicated task. You know, go clear the creep. The map
It
open
is.
so I can take more bases, you know? GG.
Sending corruptors to finish this off. Ketrock being a very BM little bot.
Come on, Ketrock, what do you...
There we go.
Gotta drag it out as long as possible. Alright, we'll get game 2 loaded up here in just a minute. I knew these two were going to go the distance. They really took it to about as late of a game as you can get. Again, those bases in the middle are starting to look a little bit empty as well. So, you know, we were almost out of money on the map.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of that came down to a couple big engagements with the air. Again, that fungal pack, getting
Those
a few
fungals
chain
were
fungals
awesome.
were really,
Yeah.
really good. There was that weird situation where a bunch of Vikings and a bunch of Hydras were like stuck together in a corner for like 5-10 minutes, and eventually that got cleaned out. Some good stuff. I think the MVPs were corruptors attacking planetaries, because I think if they had to be attacked from the ground, they never would have been killed. But yeah, being able to...
That is a really good way to circumvent the planetary's defense, essentially. You know, just shoot it from the air.
Yeah,
and there weren't a lot of turrets. There were a few turrets, but I feel like there could have maybe been more.
Yeah, you could get into an angle where they weren't a problem. So they were kind of blocking the normal, like, if you come to the mineral line sort of area. But they weren't like all around. So
yeah, they were just mineral line defense. They weren't zone defense or anything like that. All right, well, game 2 is ready. Let's see what happens. See if we get an hour-long game like you all want. Let's go. I'll be back in 45 seconds.
Ketrock. Kaninana.
you know, a lot of bots that kind of play for the late game will often kind of leave some openings early on that, you know, could allow for something like a Ling Rush, but you kind of know your opponent doesn't really do that thing, so it ends up being safe.
What'd I miss?
Not too much.
I'm back.
Yeah, both of them kind of gearing up for macro yet again.
Oh yeah, that's what these bots definitely like their macro.
Yeah.
Well, wait, didn't Ketrock just try to cheese
Yeah, not really.
recently?
Well, yeah, he has before.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
like
he
a couple
did.
weeks
He
ago, I think.
did a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was
Maybe,
fun.
yeah, I can't
You
remember.
got to
the
mix
last
it.
time I tried
Yeah, Ketrock has occasionally like worked in some snipes.
gotta
And
mix
then I don't know if I'd call it like a cheese, but the attempt to open with a bunch of widow mines is potentially cheesy if it works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, wait, didn't he
Yeah.
just try some cheese? But he
Yeah.
didn't really
It wasn't meant to be like a
commit
game
to it.
ending.
Yeah.
It wasn't for that. It was just
like
kind
an
of
all-in cheese. Yeah, it wasn't. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Ooh,
Uh-huh.
here we go. My personal new favorite build here. We're doing the ghosts, and now I think Ghost is a phenomenal early game unit against Zerg. It's weak to a lot of things, but if you can get a few ghosts up, the snipe is devastating to certain things, like a roach attack or something like that. You can really clean a lot up with ghosts. They're beefy. They can take a lot of hits. You get some medevacs over them, and you've got a nice little army here. And they can drop nukes. Like, need I say more?
indeed.
Get more
It's
ghosts.
perfect combo. They're two almost very opposite weapons on the same thing. You can pinpoint a single target or nuke a city. Yeah, there's very little in between.
They're specialists.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the Marine is. The Marine is the general purpose soldier there.
True.
All right. Well, let's see what happens here. We do have a factory coming down. I would imagine we're gonna hopefully get some medevacs overhead, just to help keep those ghosts alive, and maybe we'll see some sneaky ghosts trying to pull off some nukes behind mineral lines and that kind of thing. I think we will. I hope we will. What's your favorite Terran unit?
Favorite Terran unit, maybe. It's probably just the battle cruiser.
That is a good one. No,
Yeah.
mine's definitely the Ghost. The Ghost is awesome.
Ghost is a nice, strategic one, but just go heavy.
Go ahead. Just get
Go
a
big.
giant ship.
Go big. Yeah. I think that's my tendency. I think my favorite Protoss unit's also the carrier. So, why not?
I'm all about that high Templar life.
Yeah, high Templars are pretty good. DTs
DTs
are probably or at least were
Any
my most
Templar.
useful unit. Yeah.
Any Templar is
Sneaky.
good with me. All right, well, we got 4 bases here. This seems like a bigger map than the last one a little bit. I don't know. They all kind of seem like the same size. Everyone just likes big maps now, so I feel like we never get small maps.
Yeah,
anymore.
there's not little stuff. The variation tends to be in the rush distance. So like the actual map size are pretty similar, but the way that you do your path between the two mains can vary, and it usually varies up to about 6 seconds. So you'll tend to have your fast ones are like 31-second rush.
Is that
and your long
much of
ones
a
are-
difference though? 6
It-
seconds? Like, I get it in the game. Yeah, it's make
Yeah.
or break for certain things, but
Yeah. It.
no, I want
yeah.
like 20-second difference, or
That-
I want this hit. I want this to hit before your barracks is even done.
Yeah. So
That's
the
small.
It used to be like that. If you remember, like Steps of War. and
Yeah,
stuff
that's what
from,
I'm
like,
saying. I
season
miss those
1.
maps.
Yeah. The problem is the make or break part tends to lean it on the break side,
Yeah.
where it just breaks the game. But you can launch attacks that are no longer defendable.
That was exciting though.
So yeah.
I still think we should make some bot specific maps. Start our own map contest.
Yeah.
Have some people make some maps.
It
for
would be
bots to
neat.
play
You
on.
could do some interesting things that probably like you could do like heavy sight blocker maps. That would be really interesting to
Mm.
see how bots do it. And you could do complete like
Oh, that's a good idea for the micro
breakup.
map.
Yeah, you could do like complete breakup maps where you put, I think it was the map Black Pink, where there were like posts
Oh yeah, it was
everywhere.
like the Plinko machine
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
middle of the map.
exactly. Yeah, so you could do that with
Yeah.
like half the map and like
Oh,
just
that would
make
be
fights really
interesting.
interesting.
Really change because that does seem to be where bots struggle the most is with the terrain, the ramps, the choke points, the ups and downs, things like that. I'm gonna start doing some more micro maps. That's a good idea to start testing some of that stuff. We do have a lot of ladders you can all join, by the way. Direct posted something about challenge in the Discord, bot making challenge, where you're all gonna go get your bot and put it on the micro ladder or something. I don't know. We'll talk more about that later. Anyway, here we go. Hellbats this time. The ghosts coming up right behind. There is one medevac overhead that's really nice. It will be able to keep these ghosts at peak fighting condition for a little bit longer. All the Hellbats just got pretty much cleared out by the roaches, though. That was not the best position for them to attack in. Maybe if they had kind of stayed with the ghosts a little bit more, that would have gone better.
Yeah, thinking, yeah, I think so.
They were just a little separated there.
Ling's now getting on to those ghosts,
Ooh,
but
there's those
Hellbats came
snipes,
into, yeah. I think the timing of the Hellbats coming in helped them there. So yeah, the ghosts will get away.
All right, that wasn't the worst.
Units. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad
8
at all.
Hellbats and a ghost.
It could have been worse if he had lost
units.
these like
Alright.
8 ghosts, which he almost looked like he was going to. Then that would have been a disaster. But
oh yeah, if he had lost those, obviously those are expensive units. How many kills does each ghost have? Can we click on a few of those ghosts for me? I'm curious. 9 kills. Yeah, there was just very cost-effective trades there out of these ghosts. So while the Hellbats did go in and just get obliterated, they kind of absorbed all the damage, it seems, and then the ghosts were able to get into a really good spot and start sniping everything. Yeah, a lot of kills between them all. Awesome. All right, well,
it is their job.
Here comes round 2. I really like this. Ketrock really switching it up in game 2. He is still, macroing, but not as heavily, it feels like. He is putting a lot more into this pressure, which might really work out if these Hellbats and Ghosts can really attack together and get a lot of damage on. There's some snipes. The Hellbat's going to do a lot of splash damage as well.
Yeah,
is
they're
it going to break
their,
through? No.
Maybe. No, yeah, no, it's never going to break through. But,
I don't think it's going to break through.
But it's a matter of, providing cover so that the ghosts can do their disproportionate killing.
Well, he's trading. Yeah, exactly. As long as the ghosts stay alive, they're the real expensive powerhouse unit with that snipe that needs to regenerate. So trading 22 Hellbats for equal amount of roaches plus a lot of lings? Sure. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty fair trade. Because what's the cost on the Hellbat? 100 minerals?
It's just 100, right? Because it's just a converted Hellion.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, there is no gas involved in that.
There's no gas because you don't
minerals.
actually build that unit. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very cheap.
That's a great trade. Yeah.
Yeah.
For roaches, hell yeah.
Yeah, and you
roaches do cost gas.
Get them high enough, and it looked like he was building a spire behind this. So whether that's for corruptors or mutas, probably corruptors. Again, ghosts are just very good against that sort of unit.
Oh,
okay,
here we go.
Nice,
yeah, he's just going dead center. And I like this because we've talked about it before. It's really hard for bots to make timing decisions. If you're trying to nuke an army or something, I mean, it's super hard for a human to do it. But just going for guaranteed damage on the base, and if Kaninana happens to have some drones transfer in or something, added bonus, What this does force an evacuation. Kaninana cannot hold that base. There is a huge army here, though. Is it enough to break through the ghosts? The ghosts are kind of in a bad spot at the bottom of the ramp with only one medevac overhead to heal. Cloak doesn't seem to be doing anything. Are there overseers? Wait.
He must have them. Yeah.
He must. Maybe he killed.
Yeah.
Okay, there's
a couple there.
I was like, I swear he killed the cloak ghost just now.
Yeah, and of course he can snipe those down too if he's in a good enough position.
That is the other good thing about ghosts is they can snipe those overseers and clear them.
Yeah, but did take out the base here, which is a big pickup.
Oh yeah, if he switches into Cloak Banshees, that could also be really nice because the Ghosts will take out the Overseers, and then the Banshees are going to just have free reign. The only thing stopping Ketrock's Cloak Banshees when they're cloaked is detection. If detection comes by, Ketrock pulls back.
Yeah.
To keep them alive. But if all that detection gets cleared out, the Banshees are just going to have a great time. There is 1 or 2 Banshees, I think.
Yeah, he must have them out now. We're
I
getting.
thought I just saw one. Oh, no, never mind. I could have sworn I just saw one. I'm hallucinating. I want Banshees so
They
bad.
should exist, but maybe later. It's a lot to support. If you look at the economy right now, like
It is.
Ketrock does not have a bank at all. It's expensive to be making this many ghosts and nukes constantly and stuff. But yeah,
They're starting to get fungal.
fungal could be an issue, but they can be healed. So as long as you've got medevacs around,
Look how tanky.
then they have to get a lot of fungals in a row in order to make this a problem. Right now, that medevac fleet does have a lot of energy still left, so it's good. But another really strong fungal here again, and you.
It is. They're starting to get orange. Medevac energy's getting low.
Yeah, you'll burn.
I don't know. Does this break through?
Yeah, boom.
No.
Fungal again.
How
but
with
they-
that?
They were basically back to green, but it was more important that you were letting the roaches come in and close on them. That was more the key. There it comes.
Oh!
Nice juicy nuke.
There's those drones. A whole drone line not evacuated.
But it's funny, like literally from the moment it took me to see the drones die to look at the supply, counting on it was already remaxed.
Yeah. That's Zerg for you. Wow, the trade's actually going a little bit more even. I thought Ketrock was trading a little more efficiently, but he did just lose a lot of his
Yeah,
ghosts.
that was a big cleanup.
That was huge.
one pack and you lose them all, and that's hard to replace those.
Well, and it was
Probably,
unfortunate. I
but-
really would like to see the ghosts. I thought they were pulling back and kind of saving their energy, but all those ghosts that died in that were almost completely out of energy, and then we saw they got just enough to get one final
Oh.
cloak off right before they got fungal
Yeah.
again and died.
There was a big fungal pack on that one again, and it just allowed. So the fungal's not killing, but it's allowing the roaches to close, and it also negates the cloak. So it basically traps them in and then allows them to overrun them with cheap units. So, but Karinana has not had the ability to develop the economy to the same extent that he has in the first game. But he's now trying to pick up these edge bases and push back. I think he's in a good position. Ketrock, despite having a pretty healthy economy himself, he's just spending it constantly. He's not maxed.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, he's got great income still. You can see he's still expanding. He's got the top left base. Still a good amount of income. Another nuke coming down as well. Ketrock trying to get these nukes on the mineral lines. Now, I am surprised. Oh, we're seeing Burrow. So Kaninana sees the nuke.
Yeah.
But Burrow's not gonna
Burrow's away
protect you
from it. Yeah, you're not burrow. You got to burrow deeper than that.
Okay, yeah, I was worried at first Kaninana didn't see the nuke or something, but that whole mineral line must have been burrowed as it died earlier. A couple Ravens get narrow parasited. Few turrets are gonna hold the ghosts at bay with the roaches. This is starting to get a little scrappy here. Who has the advantage? I don't even know. I don't think anyone really.
Yeah, I think Kaninana does, but he's got to kind of keep doing what was working, which is, again, he's got to get close enough to get these fungals on and clear the lines, and that was a weird miss.
Oh yeah, whiffed it right behind the ghosts.
Yeah, he got the
Very lucky.
medevacs, I guess. Maybe he was trying to get a medevac, but that's...
Maybe,
but
yeah, it was center mass when it got casted, but
yeah.
the ghosts just managed to move forward enough.
Yeah.
You Hellbats waddle to their doom.
The Hellbats are still doing really well, though, at just providing cover. Because
Yeah,
that's all they're doing. They're
as
not
long
doing
as
any
they-
damage, but they're just like distracting them long enough to let the ghost slip into another area.
Yeah. As long
Which
as they
is
help
exactly
keep the
right.
ghosts alive, then I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. And it's
'Cause they are
basically
just
all they're
minerals,
doing.
so,
But
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were saying in the first game that Ketrock didn't have a good mineral sink, and I think he was saying
There
in
it is.
chat it looked like his factory stopped working at some point in that game.
Oh, interesting.
But this time they're not, so he's much more balanced in what he's doing.
Well, a lot of ghosts with very little energy trying to break through here, but there are a lot of them. That's a good squad.
Maybe he is intentionally targeting the medevacs because he just did the same thing.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's... Well, because you would imagine the units would kind of pull back and sit
Yeah.
under the medevac, right?
Yeah. Either that or he's like, you know, if you see a couple medevacs,
Oh, gets
target
half the
them.
ghost.
That was another good one. Another good pack.
Oh, there we go.
No finish this time. And these medevacs, at least one of them has a lot of energy.
Another nuke here. These
Yeah.
poor medevacs are having such a hard time keeping up with the ghosts.
Gonna get it? No.
Boom! Yeah. Gets done. No burrow even. I don't think those drones even cared. I guess they just... I don't know what they were doing. Ooh, there's a juicy fungal, but again, like you said, there's no finishing power. There's no...
Yeah, the roaches are on the back foot there. Nice.
Oh, there's a couple of juicy ones.
Yeah, gigantic one there.
Oh, they're so low.
Yeah, they're so low, but just can anything finish them off? And,
This is what I said earlier. Ghosts are so freaking buff, dude.
Yeah.
They're so tanky. I love ghosts. They're the best Terran unit. Changed my mind. Look at that spectrum of colors.
It's like fall.
Like fight very fall colors.
Watch the changing of the colors of the ghosts.
This is nice. I do really like that Kanina still neuroparasiting the ravens because there's not a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
So at least getting rid of their ability to harass with turrets is nice. So
I do like it. The only thing that I don't like about it is that every neuroparasite should be a fungal.
That's a good point. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh my God, no ghosts actually died in that. Look how low they are.
Yeah. So
dude, these poor medevacs are so low on energy. One or two more good fungals would kill a couple of ghosts.
And just getting them in the right at the right time. It always feels like the fungal hits as the roaches are retreating.
Yeah, never when you need that power to cleave through them. All right, a couple ghosts do die, but here comes another nuke. We should see another dead mineral line momentarily here. Yeah, poor workers. Just lambs to the slaughter here.
Yeah, doing a good job with this, keeping worker count at 69.
Oh, fungals from the left, fungals from the right.
See, he's got to come in. Can he finish this off? And it's just the one or two hell bats that end up keeping them alive.
Yeah, pretty much. They come in, they soak all that damage up, yeah.
Yeah. That's all they're doing. They just step forward and they're like, pick me. Like, you ever play like an MMO and like they're just hitting the taunt button? And
yeah, well, it's like Pokemon. What's the... Is it taunt, I think, or something? Or no, taunt prevents status. What's the one that you basically draw the attacks?
Yeah, you draw the attacks. I don't know what it is in Pokemon.
Yeah. Or something.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting their aggro up. And now here, getting flanked here a lot, though. Are any of these going to die?
They take a lot of damage. One ghost does go down there, but most of them get out. That's good.
And again, there's just good medevac support. Like, medevac's very close to no energy now, but they've healed 500% of the ghosts.
They haven't had any more than 20 energy all game.
Yeah.
These medevacs are working overtime. My goodness.
Can you get any of these? The fact that Ketrak's been able to get this like top left base is quite impressive, and he's had that one for a while.
This is one of the most beautiful Terran versus Zergs I think I've ever seen. We've got another nuke coming down, clears another mineral line out. Kaninana still going strong at 200 supply. Great economy. Should be able to reestablish that no problemo.
You think
slaughter.
The really weird, maybe not that weird thing that's happening is, which could eventually potentially bite them, is every time the nukes go down and workers die, it seems to end up in army supply.
Oh, that I didn't notice that.
So he's gotten less because he's remaxing, but yeah, his army is actually considerably bigger than Ketrak's army.
He's making army, and then the workers all die, and he's still got army queued up or whatever. Like, oh, I need to still make this and this and this, and then workers get added on to the very end of the list because they died after. Or
and so much of the army that Ketrak has, it's basically all ghosts in these medevacs now.
Oh yeah, that's
so
all in
there's
on
like there's 10 medevacs, 28 ghosts, and like that's it. There's like yeah,
And a couple nukes.
nine other
There's
units.
a nuke.
So there's a nuke.
He's got a nuke. Oh, big fungal, but the ghosts have healed up completely. They're going to be
Yeah.
able to absorb a lot of these. There's only a few infestors. They're, again, wasting that energy on narrow parasites, I think, somewhere.
Yeah.
They just don't have the finishing power. They've got to land like 4 or 5 good fungals with roaches attacking.
Yeah, both of them starting to build up banks now. Ketrock is a pretty huge bank now that he's been maxed out. Big fungal again, but really nothing doing there. If the fungal only gets him to yellow, it's basically
the
nothing.
ghosts, they
Good
get
catch here.
separated.
Yeah,
Half of the army gets separated, and we are going to see a few die.
pretty big one here. The second part kind of loops around and cleans up.
The terrain did not help Ketrock there. It split his army up. That was unfortunate for him. I was just about to say, too, he's really got this almost invincible army that literally could last forever. Even if he lost all his bases, if he had ghosts and medevacs, they could technically fight forever if he had one structure somewhere. You know, they can just keep regenerating and fighting. He's just got to get that critical mass. And I think maybe if he starts sacking workers, because isn't there a point?
Yeah.
There is a point where Ketrock sacks workers and just spells things out with mules and stuff. Yeah. So I would like to see that and just see full 200 supply on medevac ghosts. I think you're going to be unstoppable at that point.
Another absolutely gigantic
Huge
fungals, but there's just nothing. It's so well
matter.
coordinated, and I don't know how much of it's just kind of like accidentally that's the way it is, but he gets the fungals just as like 2 Hellbats come and go on the offense. And then despite the fact that it's like 2 Hellbats, the roaches always like pull back and start to like stutter step against it and stuff, and they just don't jump on the now vulnerable center.
So I'm curious as to what the fungal prioritization is, because once we get enough ghosts, they seem to be the target. But when there's not a whole lot, it seems like medevacs are the target. You can see these medevacs are super low, but he hasn't fungled the medevacs in like 5 minutes, and 1 or 2 fungals is going to kill half these medevacs out.
Yeah, and I don't know if
that's what you want.
I don't know if it makes any priority based on health. Like, you know, I could finish this off versus just get the biggest pack. I think it's just trying to, you know, hit the biggest shot that it can.
When he can at the time, yeah.
This is probably what you want it to do, but there are obviously situations. Oh, is he going to catch much here?
Oh, this could be big for Kaninana.
Yeah, big roast.
Roach is finally engaging, but there's no fungals to supplement it. He does kill some ghosts off, but it's still not enough to break Ketrock. It just pushes him back momentarily. It really does feel like Kaninana's been on the back foot for a long time here.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of struggling to clean this up here.
Yeah, and yet it doesn't feel like Ketrock's on like the verge of breaking through or anything either. It's just kind of a...
It's the slow death.
Yeah, you happen to distract the roaches long enough to... See, it's this again. It's like a single Hellbat and the roaches just go on this retreat.
That is interesting because they could just kill it.
Kill it, yeah, and they don't.
I understand from a bot's perspective, the logic. Oh,
and that
I don't want to take splash damage, so let's scoot back and shoot, scoot back and then attack a little bit. So we're taking minimal splash damage. But in this case, it is just 1 or 2 or 3 Hellbat. Just dive on them and kill them, Yeah.
And we should acknowledge that one corruptor we keep cutting to has been there for, I believe, 87 minutes now. just chilling. It's just been there the entire time.
I'm assuming one SCV is repairing, right?
I think so. I think they let it go for a while. Yeah, there's one. Yeah. 2
All right, so a couple of them. So there is a little bit of a mineral drain there.
He's draining. Yeah, I know. He's got Ketrock down to a mere 11,000 minerals. So eventually that's gonna get him.
Hey, watch it. It comes down to like 10 minerals at the end of this 2-hour game here.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, well, here we go. Another little skirmish. Hellbats coming in, forcing the roaches to pull back. Infestors have a lot of energy under sword.
They do. They just kind of won't close in.
Will they this time, though?
No.
This is the perfect spot. They're all clumped. There's roaches on the left and the right. Oh, the ghosts are going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been the perfect time to fungal.
They're getting down, but they're getting down to these bases, and this is where you kind of don't want them
Ooh,
to
look
go.
at these, yeah, these roaches burrowing. Are they running away or looking for? Yeah, I think they were just running away. A snipe's coming down. We see a roach every now and then kind of get popped, but again, that just uses up Ketrock's energy, which, yeah, I guess in this scenario, that's all you really want to be doing is sniping. Cloak's not going to do a whole lot for you, especially if you're getting fungled, so you might as well use all that energy possible on snipes and just keep killing units.
Yeah,
I would like to see him again, though, save up a lot of the energy and then just go waste Kaninana. Just kill every single roach and then just break through.
It's getting to that point now. I think we may be there. And there's so much energy actually on the medevacs now. It's been a long time since they were hit with anything big. That
oh, here come the fungals. There's 3 or so infestors.
Yeah,
I think he can. The ghost pull back.
He just out healed they're at full health.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like there's like a medevac per ghost at this point. So, and they're at very high energy now. So I think he's quite invulnerable for a while.
I don't know. Kaninana's still at 200 supply, pretty much. Army's still technically scary with the fungals and the roaches. Again, both of these bots just need to have that... I don't even know the word for it. Just toppling point where they bust through the opponent. Again, Ketrock if he saved up a bunch of snipes. Kaninana if there was just a ton of fungals and a big surround. There's just a couple... You know, there's just... Each one could massively destroy the other, but they're just bouncing off each other. They're nervous to engage fully, you know? They're just skirmishing non-stop.
I wish you could click on a unit to see the total damage that Corruptor's doing.
Right.
Obviously, it's killed nothing, but it is, yeah, Ketrock even.
How would you? That would be. There's got to be a way to calculate that, right?
I mean, you could probably.
All
you would have. Yeah, all you'd have to know is the DPS and how long it was there, I guess. Okay, taking this down is pretty big.
Is it though? There's nothing left. There's like 10 minerals there.
Yeah, you're right. But even that breaking through a PF defensive position, I guess, is the
oh yeah,
trend.
no, for territory, it's definitely good because it means for Kaninana, it's good because it means the Zerg is pushing onto Ketrock's territory.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Another nuke. These ghosts still getting nukes off. I'm impressed. I mean, Ketrock has the money for it. He can nuke forever. That's what I'm mostly worried about for Kaninana. I think Ketrock's going to win it just because Ketrock has that composition that can keep fighting even once the money's gone.
Yeah, and there is so much money left.
And there is only so much money left, and I think Kaninana is about to start to run out. And once that happens, then Ketrock's Ghost Force can just keep fighting and win.
I will say Kaninana's bases are fresher. Like, he didn't take that bottom right one till like quite a bit into the game, whereas if we could take a look at the one being feed on, is that empty at this point?
It's...
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
So, and he did take that out. That is kind of a different...
Oh, he killed it! Oh, no! Or maybe it pulled back.
Or it moved or something, yeah.
Oh, no, there is a turret there. Yeah, maybe it ran away.
Because that would make a difference over the long run.
So is Ketrock out of mining then? Other than the huge bank he has, I do believe he's out of income for the most part. He's got a little bit, 300 still coming
there's
in,
a bit. So I think the second top base, like on the left, I think must have a little bit, but that one does. The bottom right does. This one does. This one had been killed a couple times, so it's got a little bit left. But Kaninana is struggling with minerals, and there is a point at which the roaches just kind of don't get replaced.
I just think Ketrock wins the war of attrition because he's got the medevacs with the ghosts.
Yeah,
it's that healing, the non-stop snipes. I think that's got it. It's the 30-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and say fast forward. I'm going to call it. It's time to fast forward a little bit. Get these roach ghost skirmishes in high gear. We did have another nuke go off, but again, at this point, nukes, unless they're hitting army, kind of irrelevant because there's nothing really left to mine. Maybe a little bit in the bottom right there, but
now my screen has gone black.
we broke
Okay,
it.
there we go.
I'm sorry, everybody. I broke it.
Yeah, he's trickling down. So Kaningana now no longer able to really replace that army supply.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Again,
ran out.
Ketrok is at 0 income. Now is the time where if that was still peeing on the planetary, then that would be a problem.
That would actually be huge right now because Ketrok went from 14 to 8 pretty quickly there. It seems like.
Yeah.
But again, it's just too much. These ghosts are not going to die to what Kaningana has left. There's only 60 army supply, so yeah, this is written on the wall here.
Yeah, 12.
We're going to an ace match.
We are indeed.
That's insane. This build is so strong. It definitely takes a little bit to get to this point and to build up to this unbeatable ghost army. Yeah, now look at all that energy. It would waste a 200 roach supply army. No problem.
Someone did the math
Got a phone.
for us in chat there. So
Here we go.
Corruptor's ability, 35 damage. If we assume it was going for about 10 minutes, which I think is about right, then then it's about 21,000 damage. So.
Wow.
Thanks, Bird.
Wow. That is actually a ton of money. I mean, in this case, it didn't matter because Ketrok still
didn't,
won.
but you could definitely see where it would if the game had gone on much longer. What is the cost? It's like 25% of that. So you spent probably about 5,000 or more resources in repairing.
Yeah.
It's a planetary, so you are spending gas to repair.
Oh, that's right. So you are spending more, and that is the more valuable resource for the repair. So that is an interesting because Ketrok won right as he was out of income.
Yeah,
we saw the bank finally starting to go down right at the end. So give Kaningana 10 more minutes with proper income, and Ketrok does get broken, I think. But again, it's the nature of the StarCraft map is it just runs out a little too quick for something like that. Especially these bots mine these maps out so quick, it feels like 30 minutes and the maps were just mined out almost completely. So anyway, good stuff. We're gonna get our ace match loaded up here. Ooh, at least another 30-minute game I'm predicting here. We're gonna spend an hour and a half on this series alone. How we doing here? How we all doing in chat? Y'all comfortable? We've got more games coming up.
The guy that just gave us all the information, the bot, I think, timed him out because he was writing like equations, and then the bot was like, "You're spamming symbols," and then deleted them.
That's hilarious. Well, at least we were able to read it before it got deleted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully you are all having fun. We do have one more game in this best of 3, and this will decide who goes up against Tier in the upper bracket, and that will decide who moves on to our final 4. And we'll see. I don't know. I've got no predictions at this point. It is anybody's match at this point. Both these bots are super strong, looking really good. Let's go ahead and hop into it.
Ketrok. Kaningana.
Just want them both to worker rush each other. At
Yeah,
this
right.
point.
Just cannon rush or bunker rush and drone rush. Go.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know
So
what to say here.
did Ketrok say? Actually, can we look at the chat that they said again? So Ketrok, Raven Cyclone.
Cyclone. Back to the traditional.
All right.
Or no, that's not what he did the first game. Never mind. I just
did
remember
the mine
Raven
thing.
Cyclones. Yeah, he did the mine first.
He lists his options, and I think he lists the win rate of each one, and then picks one.
So, hold on. I had a question about the ghosts. What was it? Okay. So what? It's a very complicated question. It's not really a one-parter, I guess. Just what would be a good way to go about making sure your ghosts always have snipe energy, if that makes sense. Especially as you're building up to that really large mass, you've only got 5, 6, 7 ghosts. You have to be a little bit more selective, I think, because you can EMP, you can snipe, you can cloak. It's really hard for a bot to know exactly when to do the ability without wasting it, because it's like, oh, an enemy, cloak, but then the enemy runs away. Okay, well, you just wasted some energy, So I don't know. I guess I don't even know fully what my question is, other than like, how do you make ghosts more awesome than they already are?
Yeah, basically. I guess you could kind of say, like, when do you feel trapped, or maybe there's a health limit. Like, I'm only going to cloak if I'm at 60% or less.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that. So it's not just you're reactively cloaking because they get close to you. You have to be in danger.
Because I'm not sure exactly when Ketrox cloak, but they definitely cloak more towards full energy spectrum. It might be after they take a hit or something, though. I don't know. I'll watch a little bit more closely next time. We're not getting ghosts this game, though. We're getting cyclones.
Yeah, I'm betting it must be like something like getting hit, because there were definitely cases there where like some were cloaked and some were not.
Yeah,
because it doesn't
exactly. They were just kind of all over the place with the cloaks. There was
doesn't make any sense to just mass cloak, basically.
Oh yeah, almost never. Yeah, no, cloak is way more for special tactics, for nukes, for sneaking around. Yes, you can do a mass cloak occasionally, but in what we saw last game, there was always an overseer nearby to be able to deter that, essentially. So. Oh, Ketrock saying apparently the ghosts never EMP the infestors because when the infestors are burrowed, they appear to have 0 energy. Oh, interesting. That's something I never would have even thought about, because is the energy hidden when they're burrowed?
I think. Yeah, I guess.
I know you don't. No, you do see the energy bar still when they're burrowed, right?
I don't know.
Why would that do that?
I know you must see the health bar. I don't know what you actually see, because. And it's not just what we see, but like, what does the API see? Is that different for some reason? I don't know. Because most things, and I don't know what the setting, because what do we get on here? Damaged? I think we have damage settings on, so I don't really know, because I never play with that.
No, what do you use?
Always on.
Just always on. I hate that. I hate seeing health bars over everything.
Because I like it being consistent. Because like, say a group like this.
Yeah, it is consistent because you only see the damaged one.
But I don't want. The problem is, to me, and it's always the problem with damaged on, is energy is damage. So you end up seeing a group of infestors, and if the infestor is full energy, then it doesn't have a bar.
I see what you're saying. So, but then you just know it's full energy.
I guess, but it's just, I guess for counting, like for very quick, like how many units are there and what's what and whatever.
That's true. It does.
I like having it on.
I see that.
So it's whatever.
It does give you a little bit better scale for that. Okay. No, I prefer just like damage. It's just too many bars. Well, I am in video games in general. I am so damn sick of seeing health and how much damage is done with every fucking bullet. Like, I can't play any shooters anymore. Oh my god, the pop-up numbers drive me insane. Yeah, I don't care how much damage each individual bullet does. Yeah. Just let me load him full of bullets and kill him.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Jesus.
Starfield does that.
I
think you could turn it off.
I can't play any games.
You can usually almost any game like that.
You can turn it off.
You can turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been playing the Starship Troopers FPS game.
Yeah.
They in one of the updates they added that, and I got so pissed. I was like, no, but thank goodness they had an option to turn it off.
I think it makes more sense in like RPG style ones.
Yeah, where it's turn based or a little more. Yeah, you can like pause time or something.
Yeah. Something like that, but just in a normal FPS,
it's just so dumb. They're bullets. They do damage. I know they do damage. I don't need to see how much. Either he's dead or he's not. If he's not dead, I'll shoot more bullets.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to calm down here. I get a little worked up about that topic. I'm just.
That would be
I
really.
like I like a cinematic game. I want to be immersed. And you know what you don't see in real life? Numbers flying everywhere, unless
That's
you're like
true.
Rain Man or something.
I know. I punched someone earlier today. No number.
No numbers.
No number popped up. That would
What about
actually,
like little stars, cuckoo?
I
bird?
would say that would actually make it more fun. I was just before this, like I was at boxing gym, and it would be nice if every punch you threw had a number.
Right.
Yeah,
What would how much health do you think you'd have?
I've got to be close to dead. I think so.
Jeez. I was gonna say I'm at like 37 or something out of 100.
Yeah, so it's not too bad.
Anyway, here's Ketrock and Kaninana duking it out slowly but surely. And Kaninana's got a really good secure position. A lot of queens this time. This feels like more queens.
It does.
Is it?
It
feels like a lot of queens. Maybe
does
it was
feel like a lot
responsible
more
to Banshees.
queens. Yeah, yeah, possibly, but it does feel like a lot.
Okay, creep clearing squad. Oh, I like that. So Ketrock actually assigns a creep clearing squad, and when they've done some work, he'll unassign them, and I guess they go back to the regular army or something.
Makes sense.
That's really cool.
It's
like sending out units on assignments. That's really neat.
They should, if they do really well, they should just get to retire.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. Unfortunately, they don't have that option in this game. You retire by dying.
That's true. It's a shame.
The eternal retirement. Yep.
Yeah. And unless you're that one immortal at the end of every Protoss game that has like 45 kills but never died.
They pull you. They repair you and pull you into the next game for sure. All right, well, little skirmishes are going to be going across. We've already got Corruptors out. There are Cyclones in a pretty good number out, as well as a couple of Siege Tanks. The Sight Blocker seems to be causing some issues, for both bots almost. Oh, is he going to get the base? Nope.
I don't think he'll get the base, but at least he delayed it.
Yeah, he'll get a cancel, I think.
Oh, he's pretty close. Yeah, he will get it. They just kind of pulled away and let him. Yeah. I think it was this other group coming in that caused him to swing back around and allowed that to be canceled.
The Roaches should not be engaging here. Maybe they should. I don't know. It feels like there's too many Cyclones with a little bit too much micro potential to be able to pull back and just decimate these Roaches. The Burrows almost saved those Roaches, but the lock-on range is just a little bit too much with the Ravens overhead to detect. A lot of Roaches are going to get cleared out here. So, yeah, in the end, Kaninana should not have engaged as deeply as it did. But, actually, that being said, it's keeping Ketrock busy, and Kaninana's at 200 supply, so I guess you might as well just start throwing units at your opponent, right?
Yeah, they're cheap ones, and he is kind of doing that. It would be nice if he swung, and I think he now has seen the base in the top right-hand corner. That's, I think, where you want these to go.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not going to make any headway running down his natural. Like, Ketrock's not going to die to this. But if you take him to the outskirts and start attacking those bases, you can prevent them from getting up. But once that planetary, which is building in the top right, is done, that base is going to be there for a while.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah, like as soon as that little bar is full, that's over. But a whole bunch of Roaches and stuff up there could just wipe that out.
And Ketrock is repairing a little bit here. He's got some SCVs pulled to repair. Zerg's still poking at the front. Command Center is going to try to fly over and establish another base somewhere, but Kaninana really feels like it's got full map control right now. Yeah. So we just send a little squad to the top right. I feel like Ketrock's in almost a chokehold.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
okay,
he's got the
so
Corruptors.
The Corruptor thing again. This one is in turret range. If it was able to come in at a different angle, again, that could be a big problem. But yeah, and it's not that these forces in the middle are doing bad. They're not at all. And they're keeping Ketrock's supply relatively low. And just being a constant nuisance. And they're definitely killing SCVs as they're moving. Because SCVs are trying to transfer to these other bases, and they're getting picked off as they do so.
Yeah, I'm just noticing Ketrock's really having a hard time getting over 140 supply. So this pressure, while it's not breaking through, well, actually,
It
is
is breaking through
breaking
natural.
through.
Yeah, I think
It was just
I think he killed so many workers that Ketrock's mineral count is bad. Like
yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, and I think he is. Yeah, he's gonna get this natural base. Of
Wow,
and,
this is really doing some damage.
I think
if you could clear out the main.
Yeah, it was this death spiral of like he kept trying to transfer to that bottom middle base, and then he got a group of roaches between the third and the fourth. Yeah, like it was just
it was just right where the battlefield was. Unfortunately for Ketrock, and about 100 workers are dead now. That might have been enough to make Kaninana be able to break through. Again, Ketrock now down to 120 supply. He is on the ropes. What happened this game? Was it really Ketrock's change of build that caused this? Because Kaninana just kind of did the same thing, early roaches and just started putting on some pressure.
There's fungal there. I mean, I guess changing to a build when the other one had won is. Again, why
Ketrock, the author, was actually surprised by that in chat.
It's not supposed to change, I guess.
Like, wait a second, you won. What are you doing?
But I think just this coming to the middle where, Kaninana seemed to get held up for a while, but it just, and he's not the only bot that does this, Ketrock side, but a lot of them will not fully realize danger, and they are still to this moment trying to send SCVs to the south.
Well, that's the only thing in production right now is SCVs.
Yeah.
So Ketrock's in hard build worker mode to try to restabilize. I guess. And it makes sense because the mineral income is just not enough to even build army units, really. So we might get a unit here or there. There's a tank and a cyclone and a banshee left. 12 ravens. Wow, this game 3 did not go the way I expected at all.
Yeah, I think it just really was this. If you look at rewatch it again and just look for every SCV that died in that kind of like 10 o'clock position, basically on the map, like just coming through that little nexus where they were coming from the natural, coming from the third, coming from the main, and just walking to the army and dying over and over and over.
Yeah, you don't want to transfer through the battlefield. That is for sure. There it is. Wow, Kaninana looking really good. I was feeling it, man. Kaninana, I think, is getting out of this group.
Indeed,
I really do.
Yeah, look really good there. Ketrock not out of it yet. Again, these are double elimination groups, so we'll have Ketrock now going up against Micro Machine.
Correct.
And then tier.
Or do we start? I think we start.
I don't know which we start with. We start with the.
Or do we start with the elim? I think we start with the winners match. Yeah, that's how GSL does it, as far as I know.
Probably true.
So we should have Tier versus Kaninana. Tier is also looking really strong. Again, this was my prediction. I think Tier and Kaninana get out of this group. They're both just really looking so strong. I don't know. They're bringing what they need to the game here to win. Am I correct? No one's corrected me, so I'm going to assume Tier versus
think you're
Kaninana
right. Yeah, I think you're right. Winners first, then losers.
We are doing the winners.
All right, cool.
But we are going to take a short break, not our actual break, because I have to go to the bathroom really bad. And I think
me too. Those were really long.
Those were really long. So we're gonna let you all join us in a bathroom snack break, whatever you need. I'll tell the audience about my bowel movements if I want, Ender Sword.
I didn't tell you not to. Drekken did.
I know, but they don't. He doesn't like me talking.
I fully support open communication. Yeah.
All right, get a snack. We'll be back. This is just a real short break, a little 2-minute-er, and then we're going to be back with our winners match here, Tier versus Kaninana. Thank you for being here for day 4 of ProBots. We're back, and we are ready for some more StarCraft 2 bot action. Hopefully you are as well. Ender Sword, are you ready?
I am ready now. I think this will be a good one. I kind of want to see. So if Tier goes cheesy at all, I kind of want to see how that's going to work against Kaninana. but I don't know that Tier will. Like it's
I
Tier.
can tell you right now
Yeah,
what Tier's going to do. Should I spoil it?
go ahead. I think so.
Where is it? Okay, here we go. So Tier against Kaninana again. Tier was updated as I think all these bots were, other than Micro Machine. But Tier did specific builds against specific bots.
Yeah.
Since this is its first actual submission as Tier Terran, we've seen Tier Random. We are very familiar with Tier Protoss, but this is, I guess, the first Tier Terran. And again, this is one of our bot author duos. So
Yes.
we have got Team Infinite Improbability Drive working on this one. And they have been doing some amazing things for sure. I've seen some really cool things out of Tier recently. And Tier against Kaninana has selected... Oh, wait. There's actually two builds here. A Ghost Hellbat build that works well on ladder, and a secret secondary build in case the first one fails. So there's a backup plan, Endersword. Always have a contingency plan.
Well, we've seen a Ghost Hellbat build work already.
Have very
Ketrok
well.
just did that, so that one may work well.
Mhm.
But it sounds like this speaks to long games again. So let's see.
Well, it's all about the execution. Maybe Tier does something where it waits until there's 20 ghosts and then just tries to steamroll Kaninana, you know? That's what I'm thinking is going to be the real strong way to use ghosts, is group them up, let the energy build up, and then just waste an army and then keep the pressure on before they can keep rallying units in and overwhelm you, you know? But we'll see. We'll see. I think Kaninana's still going to have a pretty decent time against Tier. It gave us a great match against Ketrok. Ketrok is always top 4 in ProBots, so not an easy bot to beat. So well done by Kaninana here, but we'll see if Tier and Kaninana go the distance, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah. We shall see. This is awesome. These are some great games. Hopefully you're all enjoying these. I am.
Yeah, I mean they're getting so like high level, and like the nuance of them is so like it's down to just control and flanking, and when does a infestor get close enough, and are you keeping the detection units back far enough, and like it's just there's so much complexity to these now, and they're executing on a level. Like I've always said, like the decision making is where humans could win, but the ability to execute on controlling like 20 groups of units at a time and like perfectly microing back individual things to keep them out of detection range or the range of this unit or that unit or whatever is kind of it's just the superhuman part of it. And as the decision making has gotten better, you're seeing that get executed better and better. So just every season these push to, I feel we're making more and more of a push to late game becoming the permanent thing. We always kind of went back and forth between like someone would find a really good cheese and then people would defend it and you'd go to late game, but then they'd find a good cheese and go. But
we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
I wasn't watching the time. Tier versus Kaninana, best of 3. This is our winners match. This will decide who moves on into the top 4 of ProBots for our grand finals. Let's go.
Tier. Kaninana.
What was I just gonna say? I was gonna say something, but now I have totally forgotten it.
It'll come.
Something about Tier or something. Something about bots. I don't know. Anyway, we're here on Ancient Cistern. We seem to be getting this map a lot. I think every best of 3 we've had this map.
I think just
Maybe
nobody vetoes it, which we haven't mentioned I think today, but this season we've allowed the bot authors to veto 1 map each.
Right. With the update, they get to just say, "Hey, I hate this map. Don't play my bot on it, you know. So there we go. Oh yeah, it was oh god, it was on the tip of my tongue. It was something with map. It'll come to me. Anyway, we've got Tyr versus Kaninana, and I think we're gonna get a little bit more aggressive this game than last game even. I think Tyr is just in general a little bit quicker on the draw than Ketrock maybe. You know, he's a little bit more willing to just start attacking.
Yeah, definitely more aggressive.
Not always, but in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just in real life too, he'll just punch you. I'm pretty sure.
That's what I was the chat. Okay, so somebody did the math. That's okay. I remember what I was going to talk about. Guy in chat here, StarCraft Brood SE2, calculated that you need 4 SCVs to repair a planetary fortress to sustain the damage of a single corruptor. So for 10 minutes, about 2,400 minerals are used that you would have mined, and the repair cost is about 1932 minerals and 532 gas.
That's not.
I'm gonna trust that math. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
blindly follow it.
It's a lot, but it's not as bad as I actually thought. I've never been sure, and I think it does vary by unit, but like what the actual cost.
So that's just one though. So now add 2, that's doubled.
Oh, you mean
add
per
3,
SCV?
That's per corruptor.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's one corruptor. I think that's what he's saying. Is that's one corruptor.
Yeah.
So you add 2 corruptors. Well, now you need 8 SCVs. Now the mineral cost and gas cost is double.
Yeah.
You know, add 3, add 4. It just gets exponentially more and more. So.
Good to know.
Anyway.
Good to know. It is
good to know. Good math. Thank you for doing that math
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
All right, we got ghosts. Ghosts are on the way, Undersword. I think. Well, they will be soon. We've got the Ghost Academy finished. What do you think they learn in the Ghost Academy? What do they teach you how to push your cloak button and your nuke button?
You must learn to be invisible. That's definitely part of it.
That's number 1.
That's got to be tough. And
because ghosts are basically Marines that have been given even more brainwashing drugs. In case anyone didn't know, ghosts are pretty much brainwashed, and they just do what they're told.
Yeah,
that's just how it works. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot of learning, I think, that needs to happen in the academy.
Which is weird, because the 2 ghosts that we know, like by name, one of the Kerrigan, breaks free from everyone and takes over the Zerg. She's like the least brainwashed.
Well, so that was in the story. So before that, or actually a little bit there in some of the books, they talk about how she's working for Manx because she, killed his father or whatever. But she was again brainwashed and she felt bad, so she felt she owed Manx a debt or whatever.
Yeah, interesting.
So,
until they abandoned her. And then is it Nova also again starts off as a good little girl and then is like,
well, that's because I think ghosts don't realize they're being brainwashed.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just a good little girl doing what she's told for the good army, and turns out, you're not doing so good.
That's it. They always realize. And then there's the flip
Tosh.
side.
Yeah, I forgot about Tosh.
Well, Tosh is
he's not a ghost.
Spectre, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're, I think, more trained to be crazy.
Well, they're like the experimental program or whatever.
Yeah.
They got a little nuts. Or weren't they like prisoners or something? The ex-convicts that they.
Yeah. Spectres are like ex-convicts. So
usually
they're basically the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's that same premise. I never engaged Draken on the book. Every time we did an event or something, he'd ask trivia, and he'd always put in a section that was like the book extended universe trivia, and people would just stare at him, and then nobody read these books, man.
Good. All right, what do we got going on here? We've got tanks coming out. I was wrong. I thought Tyr was going to be a lot more aggressive. But we're just seeing a much more macro-oriented defensive game and a good composition to be defensive out of Tyr. He's got the tank ready to siege up, Hellions for that Zergling control, even got a Raven for some detection should some burrowed roach shenanigans be afoot. But yeah, I don't know. I've yet to really see. Okay, there's a couple ghosts. I want to see a full ghost commitment.
Yeah, me too. I think you will. It's hard to get, like, you've got to safely get to them, is the thing,
Yeah,
right? So you
that is
can't
the hard
can't
part, yeah.
just get. It's kind of like you were saying, like when you've got 4 or 5, how do you make sure your snipes are up, etc. I think the
Mhm.
key is to not just have 4 or 5 ghosts. Like because you're just gonna die. Like
Mhm.
if you try and do that and somebody attacks you, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So
Well, and it was what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a little bit more passive ghost play. Anyway, I want them to be able to build up that energy and have 10 ghosts with full energy. They're gonna waste a Zerg army. You can snipe anything in a Zerg army. It's all biological. So I think it's gonna pan out pretty well here if we get a few more. So far, though, only 2 ghosts still in this army. Oh, what the heck? Oh, he's
Did he
dropping
just-
changelings.
yeah, and you just shell it. Nice. So
That's the appropriate
So
response
way to go.
to a changeling getting dropped on your army. Blast it with all your tanks. I love the AI.
Pretty
All
good.
right.
Yeah, so no real attacks. There's a lot of positioning around, still expanding. Counting on us certainly way ahead in supply already, but that's of course because Tyr is going for this tech path, I guess, instead. But yeah, no major eventful action just yet.
Mm.
But I do worry that because of the way that Tyr is doing this, are you ceding too much control to Keninana to take the map to hit max supply here in like another 30 seconds probably.
Yeah, I feel that.
Getting
There's
Spire,
not a lot of
getting
map control.
yeah, like it's dangerous to give a Zerg this much. Like you can then go on a crazy nuking mission, but have you allowed too much time for defense?
It just reminds me of like when a pro decides not to scout for some reason.
Yeah.
Like every now and then a pro will just get lazy and be like, "Nah, I'll just sit on 3-4 bases. I don't need to scout anything."
Yeah, yeah, because we're
And then they just get
about to get to like an 8-minute hive here. Like he started that around 8 minutes, and one thing that kind of like so far we haven't really seen Keninana get there until he was already winning, but he keeps wanting to go to Broodlords, and if you let him, he's going to.
Oh yeah,
and
I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
And so I don't know that that's where you want to let him to go. Like, yeah, I don't know.
And that's going to be the big difference because Ketrok didn't let Keninana get to Broodlords. Keninana wanted to get to Broodlords, but the Viking count and everything, it was just too much, and I feel like Keninana just never got that trigger to, all right, it's safe to go Broodlords.
Yeah.
That might not be the case here. It might be Tyr might be too passive.
Yeah, and we've right now got a point where Keninana probably wants to shed this army supply.
Here we go.
And I think
he's gonna shed some for sure.
Yeah,
it's a little clumped up against the tanks.
He pulls off. To me, I guess he saves it. I think he could have dove there.
That was a good trade for Tyr.
yeah,
that was a really good trade for Tyr.
It was, but because he pulled back, I think if he
kills.
just kept going with the roaches, he would have taken all the tanks out, reset everything. So yeah,
that would have been nice.
And I think the main goal there was Keninana did want to free up army supply, but of course you want to get something out of that, and that wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I'm having a good time reading chat tonight, just seeing some strategies. We haven't seen the mass overseer contaminate strategy and just cripple the bot, stop their production completely, and then they can't do anything. That would be interesting to see, because you would have to have good anti-air, because overseers are tanky. They can run in and contaminate and get out usually pretty decently, even against Viking or two. So I don't know, that'd be an interesting strategy to see.
So someone used to do that a bit. It wasn't like a mass though, but he at least would come in, scout, contaminate, and like try and target like certain buildings. But
it helps. It really it's how long does it last? Like 20 seconds or something?
Something like that.
It's a decent amount of time where it could really, if you have like 5 or 6 overseers constantly coming and doing that, that really can throw a wrench in your production. Absolutely. So no, that would be an interesting strategy to see these bots pull off, because again, the bots can just do all these things at once. So you just got to program it in. All right, here we go. Tier's gonna push onto the creep, is clearing a little bit of it out, but is not going to wait for it to recede. Takes out the spine crawler, also takes the fungal. Can he break through here? The tanks are in a great spot.
It's definitely going to get this base here. At this point, I think the tanks are more effective than the ghosts are.
Yeah, I agree.
But the ghosts will,
Well,
you know,
the
they're,
ghosts are
they're
necessary,
better.
though.
Yeah, they're better at staying alive because they're at this point
They're the
like
buffer.
they're super marines.
Yeah, they're exactly.
That's what they're
the
being right
buffer
now.
for the tank. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
He's getting good fungals on them, but there is a lot of medevac energy, so it's going to take a lot to get through this. Whereas, yeah, if it was Marines, obviously you'd have a bunch dying. Takes out another base here. It's going to be when does it kick in that he can kind of start taking things out. But he's too... It's another one of these things of like, you dive into a tank position, but then he pulls out halfway, and you got to either go in or not go in. But go in and then pull out is always wrong.
Yeah, always. Because you're just taking free damage at that point.
Doing okay now that the army's split a tiny bit.
I don't know though. It just feels like
it's still a steamroller at the moment, but he was able to kill some of it.
That's a big steamroller.
It's
This is what I and I was kind of right. I thought just waiting, building up this big, unbeatable army, and then just steamrolling. Yeah.
So here, once again, exact same thing. He could have overrun the tank position from behind there. And he didn't.
Absolutely. Right now, if he went in, I still feel like he could get these tanks.
Yeah, he could, but he went in and he pulled back, and that's
too afraid.
It's just always wrong.
Yeah, Kanyanana's a little bit too afraid of Tier's army. Well, and that is the big difference between this and Ketrok, the game versus Ketrok. Ketrok was constantly attacking, so you had smaller armies, smaller groups of units that Kanyanana was a little bit more willing to engage with. I wonder if it is just a numbers game, you know? He's got a little bit too much, so I'm going to pull back, you know?
Yeah, and I think
2 more supply, so I got to pull back.
That is, I think, what's happening. And we've talked about this before too, but I think it's also this thing of things never have that thinking of this has to be my last stand because there's no point in me retreating from this position.
Mm-hmm.
So there eventually has to be I don't want to take this fight because I'm losing it, but there has to be something that's like, but I'm losing if I don't take the fight anyway, so I might as well.
Well, what you just described is that missing bridge between humans and AI, where we know kind of how to make that call for the most part.
Yeah, it's kind of like the meta goal on top of it of like, this may not be efficient, but it's my only chance.
Because we're able to assess like, oh, it's all about probability. Oh, he probably has this and this and that, where the bots really do run on concrete information for the most part. Is, oh, I've seen this, I've seen that. He's got this much, I've got that much, and it makes calculations based on that, as opposed to, well, he might have a little more, but if I go, I might be able to get it, sometimes you gotta have that human touch.
Indeed. So yeah, Tier doing really good there. Just strongly dealing with that. I mean, again, same sort of composition, but the tanks really help. Like I think Ketrok's Ghost strategy was kind of like keep Hellbats in front and Ghosts behind as the mobile force. There we just had this tank core that ended up anchoring the whole thing so that you could never push into it.
Yeah, well, it creates that scenario of either attack or don't. But if you're going to do this little dance in between, you're going to lose because the tanks can just keep shelling during all that. So interesting. Yeah, it is really cool to see the difference. I'm really glad that Kanyanana got to go up against both these Terrans here, because while we're seeing similar compositions, we're really seeing a totally different execution of them. So I think it's just really interesting to see. Anyway, we've got game 2 ready. Tier versus Kanyanana. Let's go.
Here. Kaninana.
All right, Royal Blood yet again. I feel like we're seeing a lot of this map too. I see these little banners every time.
Indeed.
It's a good map. I like this one.
It is a good map. Yeah, I think it looks nice.
I'm at the point where I really just don't care what map it is. Like, there are no maps that I dislike.
Yeah.
It's, it's a map. I don't care anymore. I used to care, but maybe it helps that I don't play StarCraft anymore.
That
Maybe
does
that's
make
why.
a difference. That does make
As
a
an
bit of a
observer, I
Yeah,
don't
when
give
you-
a damn what map we're on. I think
Yeah.
it definitely does play into the match.
Yeah.
But that's just that's fun for me to watch.
Yeah.
I don't care which map it is. I'm glad to watch it on any map. So
Indeed. Indeed.
anyway, what do you think we're gonna see here?
Well,
same
I don't.
thing?
Yeah, I don't know if Tier's gonna want to deviate from that because that worked really well.
Did work really well.
Yeah, and
No arguments there.
yeah, again,
Oh.
I think it's that initial engagement where the Kaninana was throwing away some supply again. Had he at that point continued to push him and killed some of the tanks, I think it just has a completely
Oh,
different
yeah,
outcome.
If
to the game.
Kaninana was more
Yeah.
aggressive,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's all it
So-
would have taken. Yeah.
And that's the type of thing that can change on a map. Like even if you do the same thing and the maps are different, then you come in at a different angle and something different happens. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to. You already kind of answered it in the chat. Let's talk about bots that are not hard coded. We have actually had a couple bots that used a bit of machine learning, right?
yeah,
It was
we've
like-
had some that I would say are
Fully-
hybrid. We've only had,
Hybrid, yeah.
I think we've only had one in the tournament that was fully ML, which was Doogie Howitzer, which was a
Yeah.
cannon rushing bot. So it was kind of a simplified version of what it was trying to do, and even then it was bad. It was it was a fun it was a fun
It was fun, but
experiment
it
and
was
everything,
not-
but it was
yeah, it didn't
not
work
good.
well.
And yeah, Ketrak's like saying there now, like the reality is to get, like unless you run a like video card
But you have a
farm,
super
like
computer,
basically in order to train a bot that would be capable of doing that, you really should be mining Ethereum instead.
Yeah, right.
Like,
why are you
like
wasting
that's-
that on StarCraft?
yeah, that's
Oh,
basic-
Sarsabot, that was the other one.
Yeah, Sarsabot, which we talked about, I think, a couple weeks ago, which was the state action, state response action.
State action response.
State action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one was a machine learning thing, but I think it was picking between hard coded states or like
Yeah, it was
You
again,
know what
a
I mean?
hybrid.
it was a hybrid sort of thing of like, and there was another one that did that used machine learning to pick a build based on what it scouted, but was not
Yeah.
then machine so variable.
It's more on the fly machine
Yeah.
learning is what we've seen. Nothing true. Yeah, nothing like Alpha Star. No true. Yeah, it's just again, the resources required are just too much for what we have.
Yeah, and the reality too is like, and it was kind of my quibble with something like Alpha Star, and it's kind of one thing I point to whenever people get too excited about AI in the future and stuff, is like, while they succeeded at doing some like impressive stuff with Alpha Star, what they succeeded in was not their original goal.
Yeah.
The original goal was to create an unsupervised StarCraft bot, because
And we
they were
still
able.
don't have that.
Yeah, we haven't had that. They were able to do that for Go, and they were able to do that for chess, and they've been able to do that for a million other things in the world, but they have not. They didn't do that for StarCraft.
It's all about. I think it's all about the amount of variables.
Yeah.
It's yes, StarCraft games all look the same, but there has never been two StarCraft games that have ever been exactly alike. There is
Yeah.
more of a chance of that happening in chess, which is still almost like impossible.
Yeah.
To have 2 chess games that are exactly the same. You know, again, every move opens up a different amount of moves.
Yeah.
StarCraft it's an open field. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah,
for
and
every
the
little
key
movement
is to
and action.
the key is to is there actions that you would stumble upon randomly that are coherent and good?
Exactly.
And
that's the hard part. Yeah. How do I
that's-
know that this action was
Because
good
if you
or
just
bad? Or,
despite all the possibilities that go in chess, you make moves in an incremental way. So you must if you just randomly make moves, they are still coherent things in the game. In StarCraft, if you literally move randomly, it's incoherent. It doesn't make any
in
sense.
chess, though, you know, you'll take an opponent, and that's good. You know, there's less to do in games like that. You have to mine minerals, you have to mine gas, you have to do building placement. Yeah, there's just so many little variables of, well, what is good? Is building 10 barracks good? Is building 2 barracks good? Is, you know,
Also, just
depends
why
how many bases you got.
everything is also multi-stepped, so no action has an immediate response. And very often,
later game.
very often the immediate response to any action is negative. So if you, I try and convince it to get money, and then I tell it like spend money, but there's like 3 or 4 steps to spending money. I have to spend money to make a building, and then I have to make something out of that building, and then I have to use that thing correctly in order for my investment in the building to work. But that's so many steps that you could never teach it randomly to do that. It would literally never do it. And that's even, again, assuming that we're starting with the premise that it knows what any of that is, because when you looked at some of the early Alpha Star stuff, again, it's acting randomly. It doesn't even know what the units are or anything. So it would just click on a random place. It would just move the camera around.
Yeah.
Because that's a valid action too.
That's a thing. It's an
it,
action.
It doesn't know what to do. Like, it doesn't know, like, this is your base and this is your that's why you have to constrain it. You have to supervise and teach it with example. Because it won't ever stumble on. And I think the counter example, and I've talked about this before, but and nothing is happening in this game, by the way. So that's why I'm going on building. That's why I'm going on the tangent. But if you compare it to something like OpenAI doing Dota, you can act randomly in Dota and achieve results.
Yeah.
Because you only have to be near, like, the creeps fight each other automatically, and the other players do things, and the towers do things. So all you have to do is wander near a tower, your creep line, and you'll get XP, you'll get gold. It just comes into you, and you just get this. So you're like, okay, so if I go over there, that's a good thing, right? And then you're going to be in the area with enemies, and then you're going to shoot one. You'll be like, oh, that was good. And so there's a lot of things.
Stumble into success, essentially.
Whereas in StarCraft, there's nothing like that.
You cannot stumble into success in StarCraft. Yeah, at all. Somebody posted a really good video somewhere in one of the Discords about AI. I think Direct might have posted. Who was it? I gotta go find it. It was some racing game, and some guy was teaching a car, how to find the most optimal. We talked about it a little bit before in certain racing games, but the thing that really kind of stuck with me was how he had to teach it drifting. It just could not ever stumble upon how to drift correctly, so he taught it how to drift. But then even once it figured out how to drift, it still wasn't doing it right at the optimal time. So we kind of had to really guide it and show it, this is the best time to do it and that kind of thing. But as soon as he did that, then it did start to find actually an even more optimal way to drift, which was interesting. So, it is an interesting balance. Here we go. Some action. So we'll talk about this now.
So we were talking about we were talking about different angles in that first one and how a map might change it. That was a pretty big change that just happened.
Good damage. No
now, are the roaches going to go in, though? Because if the roaches go in, they can finish this off.
It's always the roaches. The Zerglings did their job. The Zerglings were gung-ho. They did a lot of damage. A couple of tanks in the red. these roaches could collapse upon this, and I think get a lot of, even if they just kill the tanks,
because that's all
and
they're
then
trying
die,
to do.
that's great.
Yeah, you're not
That's
looking to
phenomenal.
take an amazing exchange here. You're looking to free up some supply and get some damage done as you can, and they're being
Reset the tank
reticent
now.
to do that. Yeah, and
they just won't, because they don't want to take a losing fight.
yeah,
Where again, it's a losing fight for the roaches technically, but if they kill all the tanks, then it was a worthy sacrifice.
yeah,
Because
there's
you've
a
reset the tank count.
strategic
So,
accept-
strategic sacrifice, yes. Interesting. All right, so a little skirmish here, and that does give Tyr, I think, a bit of an opening, but he's not going to take it. We'll pull back. Kills a couple creep troopers, I think, but... All right, back into passivity mode. These bots are just going to macro up. Kaninana's macro is insane, though. The economy is nuts, and I think if Kaninana can just keep track of this army and keep it in check, then our Zerg will have a good time. But it's just so reluctant to engage this because Tyr has such a good, strong composition. I can understand why. You know, you got to be very careful engaging into an army like this.
Indeed, yeah, it's you got to be cautious with the approach. He's got the fungals here again.
Yeah, they're so
which are
lackluster
decent.
though.
Yeah, that one hitting the medevacs might be okay in this case, but yeah, okay. At least he's engaging here.
This isn't the best spot for Tyr.
Yeah, it's the tanks are way behind on getting to this, but now that they're there, they'll pull away. But yeah, is it too much already?
Yeah, I think we might have the same scenario as last game where the tanks are just the powerhouse that Kaninana can't quite reach now because the Super Marines are standing strong with the medevacs with a ton of energy overhead. They're actually healing the Hellbats more than the Ghosts. Yeah, this might be too much. I think Tyr might just be able to break through. Yeah, normally, because again, you look at the supply and you're like, oh, Kaninana has army.
Yeah.
Kaninana's not attacking though.
Yeah.
And
we're getting
so
these.
deep on creep
Okay,
right now.
is he now going to do? This is the situation that occurred last time too. The tanks are split off. He could jump on part of it and just kind of.
But he's
attrition
tailing
cut
it,
this
but he'll
down.
never engage it. Like
Yeah.
he'll follow it until the end of the day. But
Okay, did he jump on the second part though? At least, because okay, so he did clear the tanks in the middle at the very least. But yeah, there's just too much here.
I really do think it was just because Tyr played more passively and got that big scary death ball that Kaninana doesn't want to engage. It's no longer little skirmishes, little fights here and there. It's one giant army that you need to fight and kill.
Yeah.
Kaninana's just not ready to do that, I guess. There we go.
Yeah.
Game 2 will go to Tyr. Tyr will join the top 4. We've already got 2 bots in there. Who else was in there? Sharkbot and Benbot are currently waiting, and Tyr has now joined the ranks. So we've got a Protoss and 2 Terrans.
Indeed, we do.
We've got 1 Zerg still alive. Kaninana's not out of it yet.
No.
That was Kaninana's first loss, and we're gonna put Kaninana on the back burner for now. We've got another match coming up. We've got our losers match now.
Yeah, Ketrock versus Micro Machine.
Ketrock versus Micro Machine. Terran versus Terran.
Mm-hmm. So we could be setting
interesting.
up for the Ketrock Kaninana rematch.
We could be, but there is always the chance that Micro Machine pulls out a win. Ketrock's definitely been beating Micro Machine for a while, but every now and then I do think Micro Machine still gets a win because Terran versus Terran is just.
You can. Exactly.
You cannot perfectly prepare for a Terran versus Terran no matter how good you are. I don't think. I mean, you can, but sometimes you just get blindsided. Sometimes things out of your control happen. Terran versus Terran is a brutal mistress. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's look at these bots. Oh, we've already looked at all these bot stats and everything. I guess let's look again.
Yeah, back up. Yeah, so
pull them up again
in the 2200 club, and doing well again, despite the fact that it hasn't been updated since 1997. Still
going strong.
I think the only thing that updates is the picture. They've started to reuse them
Hey,
I
NASA's
think.
still using computers from the 70s, and
Yeah.
we're still putting people
Yeah.
in space with it. So.
I think actually the first time that Micro Machine was underwater, he was wearing like an old timey dive
Oh, he
helmet.
was, yeah.
but now he's just on his own. So he's gained like the Aquaman superpowers. And he's
Oh,
just
interesting.
chilling.
So the ELO is actually higher than Eris's current ELO
Hmm.
on the ladder. Eris #1 on the ladder currently. They did just start a new season. They're in preseason right now, actually. But Eris currently sitting at 2160.
Nice.
So Micro Machine ain't nothing to with.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, there's a few bots in that 2200 range.
Eris, Ketrock,
Yeah.
Tier. I think.
And
Tier's
I think Kananana was as well.
Yeah, Kananana's right second on the ladder currently. So
So definitely there. I also noticed we've changed our poll.
Oh, have we?
The poll is now.
But do you think will win?
Yeah, who do you think will win? Not like who do you feel? Who do you love the most?
I think in this situation that's more applicable. It's Micro Machine is a bit of a wild card in this scenario again, just because lack of updates, but still very strong and can definitely get a win if you did not plan appropriately.
In the last matchup with 10 votes, Tier had 100% of the votes on that.
Oh wow!
Which turned out to be quite accurate.
Tier is a crowd favorite this season. I'm feeling it, man. It's been a long time since Tier's had a solid ProBots win. So
yeah, I kind of feel Tier's gone through a few evolutions, and of course now that they're a team, it may be different. But Tier
it takes
started
to
off really dominant, and then I think for a while Tier didn't prioritize pure winning, but prioritized like variety and showmanship,
creativity and variety. But that's what builds.
Yes,
that's building that foundation to get wins. Anyway, our game is ready. We've got our first elimination match of the night. One of these two bots is getting thrown in the scrap pile, and the other one will move on to face Kaminana in the next round. So let's see what happens. Terran versus Terran, Micro Machine versus Ketrock. Let's go.
Micro Machine. Ketrock.
I was going to look up when the last Tier win was. It's been a couple years, I feel
It's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while. All right, here we are, Terran versus Terran on Ancient Sister. I swear, this map, is this the only map? It's a good map, but I feel like I'm seeing this every single time here.
Yeah,
we
it's
have
kind of a
maps?
standard map. I think this is probably one that nobody's vetoed.
Oh yeah, maybe. Don't mind me. I'm just looking up old
stats.
Liquipedia stats here. Yeah.
So you get Ketrock building the old Reaper catcher. Put both of them. Micro Machine announcing an early expand sort of build. And there's
we forget how quickly we forget. Last season, Tier got second place.
Yeah.
Like Tier.
Well, that's why he was ranked into the. Groups.
I forgot that it was like just right there in second though. And then didn't make the top 4 the season before.
I think the season before that was the first time he came in as just Terran.
Yeah. The last few seasons it's been Terran and random and. Well, unfortunately, the Liquipedia page is like broken. So the ES Champ ProBots main page just has to be decided as like the descriptor for like it's got all the events listed, but you have to click on each one to see the specifics. It no longer says like it used to who won on that first page. Anyway, all right, it's been a while. Is the moral of the story? I'm feeling it. Tier is gonna take this whole damn tournament. calling it now.
Quite,
Season of
it's
fear.
possible. Looking good.
It's looking good.
Looking
all right,
good.
what do we got? What do we got building up here? I haven't been watching this game at all.
I mean, pretty standard stuff here so far.
Wow.
That it looks like, yeah, Ketrok going with the bunker up front. The Reaper is freaking out.
Didn't we just see these two play recently?
It can't be that
Last
recently.
season. Last season. I
Well,
think.
last season maybe. I think they did play last season. Yeah, but not this season.
Not this season.
Not our
this
side-loaded
scenario
season.
seemed not our side loaded. This scenario seems familiar, where Ketrok was just a little bit slower on the natural, just was a little bit more defensive with that bunker.
Yeah.
Just getting some deja vu vibes. That's all.
Truth. A bit of supply block here. Double turrets on Ketchup, being fairly defensive with things so far.
All right, this is TBT. Let's fast forward through this opening. That's just Terran's building things. We've got Cloak Banshees on the way. I think that's always one of Ketrok's strongest plays. He's really good with that air control. And in TBT, air control is very important.
Yes.
So I think getting that early air advantage could be a huge deal. And yeah, another starport coming down. Actually going double starport right now. So yeah, really third starport coming down. It's going all in on the Air Force here. All right, I like it.
Indeed.
Little tank support to go with it. Why not? I was serious about the fast forward, by the way.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think it's.
I'm out of things to talk about, Undersword. It's been
many.
3 hours already.
I'll just go on a rant on other AI. I can talk about Pokemon AI.
Oh, there you go.
There's one. I did watch a series of YouTube videos on some guy made
You're talking like Twitch plays Pokemon kind of AI?
not no, not that, but like one you can one you could easily do on your own like PC, but it just loads many instances of Pokemon and basically trains it.
Yeah.
So like you train it yourself, but he created like kind of a a program you could just get on GitHub that will do this, and then you can alter variables and then train it, and then I'll see how it runs, and then alter variables and train it and whatever. And he was kind of walking through the problems he ran into and what this did and what this did, and like how do you incentivize it to do things. So he was giving it rewards like if you capture something, you get a reward. If you kill it, get a reward. If you see a new screen, you get a reward. But then he had to like tweak things, like it would go to like the main town, and there's a lot of like flowers that just move and like they dance on the screen, and it was counting it as a new screen.
Oh, that's
So he had to like
just
take
sit there.
away the stuff and like So tank coming in here in range of the front bunker. The Marines did their little dance in front of the bunker to die.
Yep. Bunker
Yeah.
dies as well, so the front line has been busted. Micro Machine's going to see that as a perfect opportunity to pull back and not lose his tanks, which I think is the right decision. There was very little support from that point forward. Busted the bunker, you did your job, get out, regroup with the army. I think that is the right call. Again, this is that decision making that makes Micro Machine so strong. Just little things like that where, if you leave those two tanks there, Ketrok didn't in this scenario try to push and fight back. But a lot of other times, the bot could just push and kill those two tanks with a support very easily. So just to pull them back is a small but good detail. And now they're going to get a few more shots, kill the Marines. Is this over before it even started?
It's not looking great. I mean, Ketrok has a good tank position on the high ground here. He's able to pick off the Marines here again. I don't know that he's going to save.
Oh, he's getting the tank. Here we go.
Yeah.
He's in range. Okay. Yeah, I think Ketrok's going to hold this.
Yeah, he might. Is he going to keep the CC alive, though?
Well, he's not
burning.
repairing it. It's going to burn down. What?
He-
There was no SCP repair.
He was super focused on repairing the turret for whatever reason, and had nothing on that CC. And that is going to be a big setback. If he had
That's
kept that
huge.
alive, then I think he would have been okay. But unfortunately, not the case.
I was not expecting this much of a kind of a
Micro-Machine-
beatdown in game 1 here.
Yeah,
like,
Micro Machine usually doesn't really do this sort of like
Yeah.
tank push sort of thing. We got, I don't. We
he's
see a lot of that.
usually a little more reactive or
Yeah.
something.
Or it's
Wow.
more of like this stream of all in, like it's the Reapers into the Cyclones into the Banshees into, like it's just this string of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not usually like a coordinated timing attack followed by like pulling back, and that is kind of unusual for what we've historically seen.
This is kind of picture perfect Micro Machine play, though. It's again what you have to be prepared to deal with is just that really good decision making and good unit control that Micro Machine always has. A little bit sloppy here, but again, just 4 bases now coming down to just the second base. Micro Machine can hold this army off, which, you know, with almost double the army supply, I think he can.
Yeah,
Well, he's
see-
got like 30% more.
See if this counteroffensive does anything, but it kind of
It's
gets
not.
repelled
It's just
there.
going to go home. Yeah.
Repelled there right away.
Now, we do have the scenario. There could be the scenario where Micro Machine is a little bit too passive, but let's see here. Yeah, no, I don't think
Looks
that's gonna
like
be
you
the
won't be. Micro Machine and passive generally not
case.
syno-
not too.
generally not synonymous.
Every now and then, though, if Ketrock had just the right amount of army
Yeah.
to be able to push it back, you know, the right amount of tanks, maybe some anti-air, but no, there's just a little bit too much here for Micro Machine.
Yeah, it's still.
I thought Micro Machine and Ketrock were going to go to at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, usually you do get a later game out of Ketrock.
Out of these two, out of both these two usually.
Yeah.
'Cause they're both just so good at defending. They're both just so good at surviving that it's really hard for them to kill each other off usually. But quick game number 1. All right, Micro Machine might be moving on to the winners match here to see if he can move on to the
Indeed.
top 4. That would be an interesting. Well, not that. Micro Machine still gets top 4 like what, 80% of the time in ProBots?
Pretty much.
Pretty consistently still.
Still up there. We'll see if Ketrock changes the strategy up, and it does something different here. But yeah,
You-
Micro Machine certainly. It's again, it's kind of the gut check. It's the
It is.
it's the you must be this tall to ride sort of.
I
bot
was
now.
just gonna say something along those lines. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have something planned. You cannot just go into it and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna beat Micro Machine with my normal stuff.
Yeah.
Occasionally, if you're good enough, you can. But 9 times out of 10, you have
Yeah.
to have something planned against
Yeah.
Micro Machine.
I think it's
So,
really interesting too, having a bot like that that's like not been majorly updated, like has just
but
been
it's still
maintained.
kicking ass. Yeah.
Not only still kicks ass, but like you may have hit a point where you could beat it before, and then you try and update your bot to beat the other guys, but then start to lose to the one that's just
Yeah,
been staying
exactly.
around. Is interesting because like it's almost like you got too cute, and now you're just getting beaten by the old guard.
Well, and that's
yeah.
it. Yeah, he's just solid. It's
Yeah.
just one of the most solid bots to ever exist. Is
Yeah.
Micro Machine. Our timer stopped at 8 seconds, so
It
it's
did.
been about 8 seconds since it froze. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that our next match is ready.
Want
Micro
to see the
Machine
8
versus-
start flashing and then flip on
Ketrock.
its side and be like infinity.
Infinity.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. If it's ready. Is it ready? To protect your flocks. We're faking it. All right,
We're doing
Ketrock on the bottom right corner.
All right.
Our intros broke there, and then in the top left, Micro Machine.
Yay. Come Micro Machine.
Wow,
in the,
I was
in the
not
bottom.
expecting our quickest match to be between these two.
Yeah,
I really was
wouldn't have
not.
thought.
Of all the things that
And it's
surprised me,
not that it was a speedy match. It was just
and it wasn't that fast. It was quick.
Yeah. That
For,
was,
for
well, what was our
these
first
two,
match? The
usually-
first ones were quick, kind of.
a little bit.
Were they?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Micro
Yeah, they
Machine
were.
and Tier.
I guess I'm just
because the Proxy Marauder was quick.
Yeah, the Proxy Marauder was quick. I'm just thinking between Micro Machine and Ketrock, these
Yeah.
games usually go.
Yeah,
a
we've
lot long.
we've sometimes gotten the 30-40 minute games.
Yeah,
for sure, and we might again.
we might again.
may
Yeah,
again.
that was just game one. It definitely could go the distance here.
Yeah,
we'll see. All right, so where did we leave off on our AI conversation for this evening? Pokemon. We've talked about Pokemon AI. We've talked about StarCraft AI. What else
there's
is
a
there?
new one. The
Racing AI.
the Gemini AI.
Gemini AI.
Have you
What's
seen
this?
any of that yet? So it's kind of the new answer to like ChatGPT or whatever. They've been promoted. I think it's it Google that runs that one, but they've been trying to. Yeah, it's Google. They've been trying to like promote it, and they put out a video that makes it look awesome, and then a lot of people that have used it have been like, "Yeah, they're lying to you."
Yeah, obviously.
But
well,
they
we're
tried
at
to,
a point where.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Finish with that.
just that it's to explain like more what it is. It's more visual, so it can pick up, like you could show it objects or show it a picture, like in real time, or like make gestures with your hands, and it's supposed to recognize things a lot more and be able to talk about it. So like at one point they draw out a picture of a duck and it can recognize it, and then they color it blue so it makes like a Billy Madison reference, and then they show it a map and it knows that that's a map, and they show it as just very interactive and like fluid, and it knows what's going on, but apparently people have said that's not
the case. Yeah,
it's not true.
Well, I read something. So AI is starting to now learn from other AI stuff. So it's starting to be dumber because it's starting to take its, it's almost like getting like a game of telephone where the AI learned from the human things, and now the AI is learning from the AI that learned from the human things.
Well, that's how ChatGPT was built. So because originally ChatGPT, like the idea is give me a bunch of text, right? So for the first while, they just got a ton of people, and they were like, read these things that ChatGPT said and tell us if you prefer A or B, prefer A or B, prefer A or B. And
is that the reward positive, negative?
Yeah, because it doesn't, instead of trying to grade it or like be like, well, this answer's like qualitative or whatever, it's just like, here's two things it said, which one's better? And at first, I'm sure it was like, la, 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 and the other one was like, blah. And you're like, okay, well, I guess out of those, la, la, la was better, even though these are both stupid. But it would, like, that's how it started, right? Yeah. So you would do that. And then, but what they ended up doing is coding an AI to mimic the human response to the output from ChatGPT. Wow. So they simply created an AI that would predict which one the humans would pick. And they got that to the point that it was like 99% accurate that it would pick the right one. So then it started to get more complex, but it was now being trained by an agent that was mimicking what the human behavior would be. And that's where you get into start getting a game of telephone, because when it's a chess AI, I don't have to tell it if it won or lost the chess game. It did. Yeah. But if it's a written response, I have to tell it if it's good or not. And only a human could tell it if it's good or not. But
that's subjective. What humans think is good or not.
Exactly. So and that's where you get into the whole, like, if I ask a question, it gives me two perfectly legible, coherent statements, but one of them is like agrees with my politics and the other does not.
Yeah.
Did I pick the right one? And blah, blah, blah. So that's where it's like, it's not telling you the truth. Banshee coming in here doing some damage.
How many kills we got? 2, 3. Yeah. We're getting kills finally. First blood. Yeah. All right. Well, we can talk about this game now. We'll talk more about AI later. No, Micro Machine knows that this Cloak Banshee's here. He's gonna deal with it. He's actually a cloak of his own coming down right now.
Yeah, actually gets a kill there. We'll move out. And yeah, I've had a theory that part of the reason that some of the AIs, other than the fact that the people that made them kind of forced them in this direction, is a lot of the AIs have more of a liberal tilt to them. One is, but I think it's because if liberals see a liberal answer, they prefer that. But if conservatives see a liberal answer, they prefer that too, because
yeah.
they like being mad at it.
All I know is that human input is still heavily influencing AI. Here we go, though. The Marines are going to stim in and die.
Yeah.
Micro Machine just kind of throws them to the slaughter there. The bunker is going to hold strong. Ketrock holding the position a lot better here in game number 2. Oh, he's even going to get that tank because he has that air control with the Vikings.
Yeah, much.
So that's really nice. This is much better for Ketrock this game.
Yeah, I was worried on this one again. The first map that we saw had no ramp going up to the natural, and this one doesn't either. And that often favors these tank pushes. But yeah, just a bunker, good defended position, not able to push in there. But yeah, that's when you get into the alignment issue. Is there's often a difference between what you have taught the AI to do and what you want it to teach the AI to do. So, yeah, in that case, you're just going for which things do people prefer. Your check is not actually which is better, because that's subjective. But there's another better example of that, of self-driving AIs are often taught to avoid certain things in simulations. So teach it to avoid hitting a child, but you can't just have children running around the car. So you have to put crash test dummies that are child size or behave like children. The problem is it occasionally learns a little too accurately. Tank here shelling down on some of these Marines.
Skirmish finally.
Yeah, looks like I think he's going to pull out, but after losing some units.
No, Micro Machine's going to try to hold this. He wants to get this third base. And actually, this would be a really good spot if Micro Machine could hold this position, but he's
too
not
close.
It's kind of that worker transfer line right there. That would have been
that's where he wants to be.
Ideal spot to be,
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll back up again. But yeah, what I was saying there is, so it will learn the proxy of. So there's some company that had that problem with kids and dogs and stuff. And then when they really looked into the code, they were like, why do you keep basically, why do our cars keep hitting dogs? And then it's yeah, you told me to avoid dogs, so I avoid dogs. And they're like, well, why aren't you avoiding dogs then? They're like, so dogs are plastic things that are filled with sand. So I don't hit those. Now there's these weird biological things that keep hitting me. I don't know what's up with that.
All right, well, here's another skirmish. Actually, it's getting explosive here. Marines coming in from the right for Micro Machine. Micro Machine's trying to get a little bit of a surround somehow. It doesn't quite pull it off. Ketrock will be able to fall back and regroup a bit here. And he's got, is that building armor already before the 10-minute mark? Is that for the turrets, I guess, for the Banshees?
Is it the building?
For the Ravens, I mean?
Isn't that mech armor, or am I crazy?
No, that was building armor.
Is that? It? No. Yeah.
Oh, is that mech armor? Oh, I thought that was... Wait.
I
thought mech armor looked different.
Is it just infantry armor?
Am I dumb?
I don't know.
No, that's not infantry armor. It's a shield.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
And that's from
is it building armor then? I guess. Yeah, you're right. That is. Yeah, that one he's highlighting there.
Of course,
now.
I'm right. I'm always right.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
It's probably for the Raven turrets, but there's really no.
I think that is it. But there will be. There will be.
It's
maybe. Ketrock. There will be.
Oh, there's one. Okay, he's got at least one Raven. So. All right, here we go. Another skirmish. Micro Machine trying to break the third base here. The tanks are in a really good spot to help facilitate that. It's all going to come down, I think, to the air control. Does Micro Machine have enough Vikings to be able to bust through Ketrock's Air Force? I think he does. Does Ketrock only have Banshees left? Is that it?
I think so.
And Cyclones? Banshees? Oh, no. Okay, there's
the wave. There's the
I was like, where the hell are his Vikings at?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun to watch. Now we're going to have another
should get Neo Steel. You gotta get
Get
Neo
me here.
Steel.
Always got to get Neo Steel.
You gotta. Yeah.
Gotta. Oh yeah, he's getting that turret range as well. So
Yeah, that's for the planetaries as well.
yep, planetaries,
it
turrets,
counts.
everything. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Micro Machine is non-stop trying to break this position. Supply's still very, very even. And Micro Machine does have a bit of an army supply advantage, but it's all, I think, again, going to come down to the Air Force. And Ketrock is really hard to stop once he gets air control.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. It's good at keeping everything alive and just using it really well.
All right, gonna pull back yet again. This is just like, it's like watching two rams headbutt each other over and over. There's eventually one of them will dominate the other, or they'll both just get locked in, horn locked, and die together. That's always a possibility. Here we go, another skirmish. This time a little bit more in the middle of the map. Ketrock's actually making some. He was making some leeway with the ground control, but now he's getting pushed back onto his side of things.
I think again it was a little bit of a sight blocker weirdness that you get as soon as you cross that. Units start acting weird. But yeah, doing good in the air here, clearing out some of the Vikings. Cloak Banshee's coming in again.
Who's going to win this air battle? I think
it looks like Ketrock is still there. It's relatively even, but he's closer to home. He's got a couple of reinforcements that are trickling out, and the Cyclones are a bit distracted. If they were there to help, I think it would make a difference. But
ooh, Micro Machine's starting to break through these expansions, though. He's getting some damage done and really starting to get a little bit of map control. That's going to be what stops Ketrock. Ketrock is expanding to the north right side of the base, though, or right side of the map. Yeah, he's got a base going up there. So there's definitely some more economy going to be established. So Ketrock's not done just yet, but he is, again, he's on the back foot. He's got half the army supply.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like in the early game, Micro Machine just kind of kept donating his army, but he still has rebuilt it faster and better. Ketrock's still with this stronger wing of Vikings, but they do kind of fall back a lot, and as they're ceding that territory, Marines are getting in, Cyclones are getting in, so he's not fully engaging the Vikings the way he wants because there's these side units there as well.
I think one of the biggest problems is Ketrock is not harassing Micro Machine at all. I think
he's
usually the most successful attempts against Micro Machine, you've got to be keeping him busy in multiple fronts here. If you just let him macro up and build and do whatever he wants, and he only has to focus on one area of attack like this, that's his favorite. That's Micro Machine's happy place right there.
Yeah, and he is, you could see there flashing on the mini-map, he was attacking that top base, and he's
a few units going out.
Yeah. So he's picking off this. The planetary came up and shut it down a little bit, but he's definitely now he's devoting a lot more resources to it. But if he could just shut that base down, then that's a big help. And even just getting transferring units.
Well, but that's kind of
or not planetary, but orbital about to die.
Oh, he's not repairing.
He's
not repairing
it, though. Yeah, it just burned down. He even unseeds to let it live, and it still burned down.
No burn down.
Yeah.
There's no repair. That's it. Yeah, no repair. There's repairs on the planetaries, but not on the orbitals, it seems, or something. Interesting. Yeah, it's just not as much of a priority. I was gonna say this is actually might be helping Ketrock being this spread out, because this is what I was talking about. Yeah, you need to be able to pull Micro Machine apart in some capacity, and not just allow him to concentrate all his units and focus in one area.
He's too tentative here. He stemmed
up.
up.
What does he do?
He stemmed up, and I thought he was just going to run in and clear that mineral line out, but then he just bounced back and forth, and he's not committing to it. That could be a problem if he's pulling all these resources up here to deal with the thing that he can't get close to, but now he's got these lock-ons. It'll take a bit, and he's going to be able to repair. But will he get it? There we go. Yeah, there's just too many Cyclones.
Yeah, it was a lot of damage, even with repair. I don't think it would have been enough.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the breaking point? 200 supply to 145. It's again a little bit better than game 1. Ketrock could barely get over 140 supply in that last game. This time he has at least established a standing force, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Micro Machine is just choking him out.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, where's the army?
Yeah, going for the jugular here now.
Yeah,
And,
I think this might just be too much. Like, there's a great air force, but the Vikings will die to the Cyclones unless they land and try to fight or something, you know, at the end. So where I usually think it's air control that wins it, in this case, it might actually be kind of the ground control with the Cyclones and tanks that's really helping Micro Machine out.
I think the ground control prevented the air reckoning from ever happening.
Yeah.
That was it, because there was definitely cases throughout where Ketrock had the superior air force, but couldn't force a decisive fight to do it because there was too many Cyclones or Marines underneath to do it, and he kept kind of pulling his air force back to the main base and then allowing these bases around to that.
Well, I did not expect Micro Machine to beat Ketrock fully. Like, I knew it was a possibility. It's always a possibility. But I'm a little surprised, honestly. I thought Ketrock would have something planned or something, like some kind of cheese or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that this is typically what I think of Micro Machine doing.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
So maybe it's just something's changed, and we don't like. We know that there's not. So maybe they have made more updates that we're not aware of.
I don't think so. He was saying in chat that they didn't.
Yeah, that they didn't. So I don't know. Maybe it's just choosing different things, or
just wrong.
Whatever.
Maybe the wrong build order choice out of Ketrock, and
yeah. So I don't know. But either way, it sets up the Ketrock Kaninana rematch.
Does it? No, this is the Ketrock's done. Ketrock's out.
Oh yeah, Ketrock's out. Yeah, you're right.
He's gone,
right.
and
You're right.
throw him in the trash pit.
Yeah, I was thinking this was the winners, but of course is not. Yeah, okay.
You would think Micro Machine versus Ketrock. That is a very winners match scenario.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but no, that's Ketrock is eliminated. That's a bit of an upset.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly did not foresee that coming.
Yeah,
you know, I thought Kaninana and Tyr were going to make it out of this group, but
yeah, I kind of thought
back
Micro
of my mind
was the one that would go
Ketrock
out.
is still there.
Yeah,
you know, Ketrock's always a top 4 favorite for sure. So, wow,
indeed,
wow. I got nothing else to say on that. Just wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that means we do have one more best of 3 tonight. Once we all kind of soak that in, that Ketrock just got eliminated. Wow. I really, you know, again, I still think I still was voting for Tyr and Kaninana, but I'm surprised to see Ketrock get knocked out. So, all right, we're going to move on to our next and final match here. We have got our final deciding match to see who will move on and be our final top 4 bot. We have currently got Tyr sitting there waiting. And now we're going to have... Wait, who do we have now? Kaninana versus Micro Machine, yeah. So Tyr's waiting. We have got Benbot and Sharkbot also sitting in that top 4. This is wow. If you had asked me to predict the top 4, I would not have chosen all these 4. Like, yeah, maybe Sharkbot, maybe Benbot, but to have Sharkbot, Benbot, Tyr, and then possibly Kaninana or even Micro Machine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Sharkbot I definitely would have put in. The X factor was always going to be Phobos for that one, because is it at Eris level yet? And it's not there yet.
That is a good
but you could easily say, like, should it be? Will it be?
Yeah, it's the author. It's Rasper. It's Paul. It's the amazing authors. Yeah, with a phenomenal bot.
So it's just a newer one. So it's
just newer.
Yeah, it's not there yet. Yeah, so Sharkbot's the only one that I would have said was a lock through. But yeah, cool.
Well, let's see. We've got one more position here. One of these 2 bots. And again, this could be any bot's game here. We'll be moving on to join the top 4. Kaninana versus Micro Machine. Best of 3. Our final match of the night. Let's go.
Kaninana. Micro Machine.
Wow, this has been an incredible season so far. I think we've had some of the most upsets in any season in this.
Yeah, I think there's just been a lot of
format.
shakeups. Like we've got some bots like Kaninana that you could always tell we're on like that trajectory to become really, really good. Finally getting to that really, really good point. Like you could tell, like in the first season, this was one of the ones, and we talked to Ratash a lot. I think actually in the first season,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
could
yeah.
tell the trajectory that it was going, and so it's there now. And then, yeah, Micro Machine again, always staying viable is a big part of it. And then, yeah,
This is like that final
yeah.
mini boss here. If
Yeah.
Kaninana can take out Micro Machine, I think our Zerg here has a great chance in the top 4.
Yeah.
But you gotta get through this guy first. And as we just saw, Ketrock, one of the top bots for quite some time now, still having trouble with Micro Machine occasionally, and it's just a testament to how good Micro Machine was built and how good he has been. And again, Micro Machine has been around since season 1 of ProBots, in case anybody did not know.
Yeah.
So he's seen it all. He's done it all. He's fought just about everything.
Yeah.
It's a hard bot to beat. So anyway, let's see what happens here on Royal Blood. I feel like this map has been used a lot too.
Yeah, we've got this one
Are we
again.
just doing the same 3 maps?
It's like a not. It's non-objectional.
Yeah.
Like it's not objectionable. So yeah, it's fine. And it's got nice flooring, nice hardwood. I think part of it's linoleum.
Oh yeah, I meant in the next bracket. Oh, did I make it? Did I say things wrong? Yeah, no. This is it for tonight. This is the last
yeah. This
game.
is it for tonight.
Yeah.
I think he was just asking for next week.
Oh, gotcha.
Like who plays? Because yeah, I think it's one plays 2 and one plays 2.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
For the top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely bookmark in your calendar. I'll say it here while we've got your attention for our final match here. Our grand finals is next week. We haven't said that enough. We have got one more day. Oh wait, are we doing Thursday or are we just doing Saturday? We just have our. Oh wait, yeah, we do Thursday. We do our top 4, like a round of 4, and then once we have our top 2 bots, I think we do our grand final.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, do join us next Thursday. We will be doing our our round of 4 next Thursday, same time, same place, and then Saturday, 2 days later, will be our grand finals. Once we only have 2 bots remaining, we'll also do our humans versus bots games.
Yes.
It'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you all bookmark it, mark it down, whatever you got to do. Be there. It'll be fun. We'll let you know the time on Thursday next week. So anyway, that's that. Okay.
Indeed, yeah. And if you haven't, 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
1 p.m. Eastern. There we go. We already got the time. Look at that.
All right. Fair enough. And if you're still out there, we got, people watch. Our liked ratio is only 25% of our viewers ratio. So we're usually about 1-to-1. We actually several times are above the viewer count. So I don't know how we're cheating that. But hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't, and all that stuff. It helps
Does.
infect the world with our ProBots.
Man. More people need to know about ProBots.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. I have a great time. Man, these have been some of the best games of this season tonight. These have been some really fun ones. So,
yeah, definitely good and interesting interactions and
very.
like you said, some unpredictable stuff, which is great.
All right, here we go. Micro Machine getting aggressive right off the bat here. He's got a little Bioforce that's going to be pressuring the third base. Stim is getting close to finish with some medevacs coming behind this. So this definitely is not an all-in, but it is some heavy pressure for sure. Kaninana does not have the forces to deal with this just yet, I don't think.
But he's got the burrow, and that's better than any force in the universe.
Yeah, he is going to be able to burrow and buy some time, but that allows the bio to get a lot of damage onto this base and onto the queens, and each roach just kind of pops up one at a time, so they actually take a lot of damage and then have to burrow right away once again, so they're not doing a ton, but they are buying, I think, enough time.
Yeah, he's all right. If it wasn't for the burrow, that base is dead.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, but now, we'll take out the tank and
nice hold. All right, good job,
very
Kaninana.
good.
Takes a lot of damage on the base, but yeah, he holds. That's what matters.
Yeah, very clutch hold.
Clutch. All right, well, Micro Machine's going to group up and do another attack here shortly. Micro Machine feeling very aggressive this time around. It looks like he really just wants to keep on the pressure. I mean, that's kind of Micro Machine's MO. Always be attacking.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, and could have paid off huge there if he had gotten that, but he's regrouping. Micro Machine does a really good job of like losing army, and the moment you look, it's been replaced completely.
Yeah,
and it's fine. Just continue.
That macro's on point.
Yeah.
Nice production tab too. We got bio upgrades, cloak on the way, some Vikings for air control. So yeah, things are looking good on Micro Machine side of the map here, but Kaninana's got a 4th base on the way with a Spire that just came down. So that could definitely come into play. We're going to see an attempt into Corruptor Broodlord again, perhaps. Did Micro Machine deal with Broodlords decently?
Not sure.
I feel like we almost never get
it.
to see
Yeah,
it.
I don't think we see it get to that point. He's got a good Viking count usually, and then eventually gets it to battle cruiser. So I think so.
Yeah.
How the ground deals with it, I don't know. I guess Cyclone's on the ground too, probably reasonably good. Don't know about tanks, like unsieging around Broodlings can be a big thing, but yeah, like you said, we just don't usually get there.
Well, Micro Machine's going to be just testing the water still.
Yeah.
Just wants to try to find that open. Just poking. Just skirmishing. But Kaninana's in a great spot. Really good supply here. Good army count as well. Even some upgrades on the way for these ground forces. So we might get into another... This might be another long series. I think we might be getting into another long game scenario, potentially.
Banshee picking away at that Roach Warren in the back.
You know, I say this could be a long game, but this could just collapse in the next 3 minutes here. We'll see.
That could happen. It could happen.
It could happen.
Something we don't see a lot from bots, but it is kind of the idea of sniping a key building or something, and it's kind of that Banshee keeps kind of going back and going after that Roach Warren, but yeah, there's a few like key pieces of tech that you can, particularly against Zerg, they can just kind of pop that one thing, and it really is disruptive. Stuff like Aspire, stuff like the pool.
Oops, sorry, I'm back. I had to take off my headset for a second. Hopefully you didn't ask me a question.
I did not.
Good.
I did not. I just accused you of a murder, but your silence is incriminating.
Show me the proof.
Yeah.
You have no evidence.
That's true. But I'm gonna give like a long speech in a dining room that explains it.
Look at all these all these blue. All right, Professor, what's the detective, whatever?
I like Poirot. I'll be Poirot. Yeah, Cube Poirot.
There you go. Look at all these marine clicks. Each marine has a mind of its own, it feels like here.
It's doing its own thing. Unfortunately, so do those SCVs that are doing nothing.
Whoa, look at all. I don't remember ever seeing something quite like that out of Micro Machine. Just I don't know. It just seemed like a dance of Marines there.
It is, but again, look at that mineral line. Yeah, pulling back from the roaches. See, they're just not doing it. Into the tank line.
Right into the tank line. Yeah, we need to see a transition into some higher tech. We do have pathogen glands on the way, so I imagine we'll see some infestor shenanigans here soon.
Nice little
Brood
flank.
Lords would be the ultimate answer right here.
Brood Lords
There
would
is
be really
not
good.
a lot of
Yeah.
anti-air.
Yeah, not a lot of Vikings. He is getting a Yamato cannon, which is nice. But obviously no battle cruisers just yet. Yeah, but I think you're right. Yeah, going into higher attack, going into infestors, I think do a lot better against this sort of thing. Obviously, than we saw with the ghosts. Like you catch a bunch of Marines, and a lot of them are going to die. But good, he's coming in, whether accidentally or not, he's coming in at 2 different angles on this high ground position.
Usually it's accidentally.
Yeah.
I would say, I would wager usually when a bot
too.
does that attack. Not always though. We do actually see some bots now do 2 to 3 prong attack. Yeah, they'll set up flanks. They actually do intentionally surround and set up multiple pronged attacks and that kind of thing. So in this case, I do think it was just a pathy.
Yeah, I think they're just coming from that side base, and so they went down the stairs or up the stairs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, both these bots are kind of securing their sides of the map. Connie and Anna could definitely take that base on the bottom right and be just fine. Nothing really pressuring that area. Micro Machine is going to take the right side of the map as the fights are all happening right here on the left side. There's a lot of scar. We've got the one Corruptor doing his thing again. Costing that 4,000 money.
Almost cleaning up a couple of those, being pretty cost efficient. Scan driving back the infestors. We haven't really seen like a big fungal or anything yet, but it's bound to happen. Ling's getting on a tank again, but it is on siege this time with more support.
Ooh, this tank doesn't have enough support.
This time it will not. Yeah.
That tank did not. These 3 tanks are going to pull back to the high ground. That's the place that you want to be.
Okay, there we go. 2 BCs coming in, and I think this is going to really push the line forward. I always say, like, although one of them instantly gets knurled and attacks the other one, so maybe never mind. But let's, yeah.
That was great. No, wait, was Connie Nana attacking the knurled battlecruiser?
Yeah, but then
I think he did a little bit.
Okay.
No!
That's what he did.
Teleports to its death.
No, he teleported it there.
Oh, Connie Nana teleported.
Yeah. I saw it go. I saw him teleport it. I'm like, why'd you do that?
We saw that in week 2, I think. Whenever
Yeah.
we last saw Connie Nana. Yeah.
So he's got a kill spot set up. Yeah. That's good. So yeah, he's got an auto death spot.
That's basically a hard battlecruiser counter.
It is.
To counter that.
The funny thing though is what just happened there, which is if you're gonna teleport it to a kill spot, you better fucking kill it. Like, because otherwise ain't nothing there.
It's just gonna sit there. It's still sitting there doing damage, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it might have just
I think it's drifted off to the.
Oh, this one's gonna get a tank. Nice, Neural gets the tank. It Neurals it again right after
the other base.
It's off.
He's using the Yamato on the tank. Not too bad.
So
now teleporting it to death camp.
It's working a lot better this time. The Neurals did not work out super well against Ketrock, but in this scenario, they're working really well, it feels like.
Yeah.
Not perfectly, but pretty well. Like, they're working better. Battlecruisers are killing turrets, they're killing tanks. They're not killing Zerg units as much as they should, that's for sure.
Now we just set the first battleship of reinforcements. This one will die, though.
There we go.
But yeah, you see the other one's still alive. It got away. You need like one more spore there, I guess.
So wait, when you teleport the battlecruiser, it breaks the link based on distance, right? So you could technically teleport it immediately, but obviously you just want to teleport it when it's lower in health so it dies quicker.
I guess so. A lot of people just like human players will just teleport it an inch away.
Yeah.
Just
like waste it.
Yeah, just to waste it. So
gotcha. Well, I mean, that makes sense because as a human, you only have a split second before you got to go do other things. A bot can do all that at once.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, more attempts at gaining map control here. Micro Machine is putting the pressure on.
BC's still alive. Yeah. Like, I think doing that weird teleporting in I think it's done more damage than, because that was like the third one that he sent to that spot that lived.
Yeah, it's not quite enough. Maybe like 1 or 2 more spore crawlers would behoove him there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a lot of tanks with not a lot of support here, but they're still managing to find openings. I don't know, Brood Lords or what would stop these at this point. He's going to try to, he Neuroparasited the tank there. Go back up to the top left a little bit there.
Another
He
one
died.
on the
Oh,
VC.
there, he died.
Like, he's getting good value out of these investors for sure. And that one
They're
will
working much
definitely go
better
down.
this time around. Yeah.
So he's doing a good job at preventing these from like spiraling out, but at the same time, like a lot of the stuff going into the neurals kind of is something that you want to be like fungaling, and like he's just not making any headway with it.
Yeah.
He's breaking up the aggression into him a little bit, but he's not pushing back.
I mean, they're both still fighting pretty much right in the middle of the map. Grief is having a little bit of a hard time pushing out, but at least Kaninana's not losing base and support and stuff. Okay, there we go. Zergling's starting to get some value.
Yeah.
Get some tanks. One tank at a time.
Supply is still relatively even. Worker count still relatively even. I don't know if we can get the resources lost tab up.
Oh, it's got to be a micro. Oh, wow, actually, not as bad as I thought.
So it's kind of gas for one, minerals for the other sort of situation.
And not nearly as
not,
mismatched.
Yeah, not at all. But,
Well, and all that minerals is Zerglings, so that's not a huge deal at this point. I mean, it will be if he runs out of minerals. But.
Yeah, minerals is minerals at the end of the day, but yeah, nine battle cruisers going down is a fair bit.
That's more expensive than 419 Zerglings, I think. Wait, how much is a battlecruiser? 400 minerals, right?
Is it 400 or 450?
Yeah, I think it's 400 minerals, something like that. So that's just under 4,000 minerals, essentially. For how many minerals is 400 Zerglings? 2,000
times 50.
Yeah, I think it's like 2,000 minerals or something.
2.
Anyway, it's a better trade.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the
It
story.
would be 200 builds of 50, so 10,000.
Yeah, something like that. Math on stream, always risky. All right, here we go. Micro Machine has a ever-growing force here. It feels like his army on the front line is just getting bigger and bigger. And this is not the ideal spot to be engaging in, but Micro Machine's pulling these units down the ramp a little bit into the tank fire, and the battle cruiser's getting some damage a little bit. Oh, that one got narrowed to the left. Yeah, these battle cruisers are really the razor's edge here. If Micro Machine had full control, I feel like he would just steamroll Kaninana. But if Kaninana got a little bit more done with the battle cruisers instead of, you know, just because there's one in the back right now doing damage. Like, if you just finished them off a little bit more efficiently, I feel like Kaninana could just steamroll the rest of the army
the
here.
Roach Warren there finally.
You get the Roach Warren, like
I like
kill these
I
damn
like this
things.
little kill spot, but the location of the kill spot's also the issue, that there's there's air back there.
That free space, so it gives the battlecruiser a chance to retreat if it has enough health.
Yeah, if it was more in the middle of nowhere, then that might be better. But whatever.
All right, well, Micro Machine's getting the edge here. Oh man, are we gonna have our last Zerg knocked out? Man, that would be interesting to see Micro Machine go top 4 in this season. Like I keep thinking every season, like, oh, Micro Machine's not gonna do as well. He's gonna get beat by some new updates, some new builds. No. He's just going to get into the top 4 again. Because he's Micro Machine. That's what it does.
Yeah, basically.
What the hell? Kaninana's looking so damn good, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of things here that Kaninana is doing right, but yeah, Micro Machine is just kind of everywhere. The tanks are a little out of control.
Well, it's that perfect analogy. Kaninana's winning a lot of the battles, but Micro Machine's winning the war.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Okay, clearing up that little route, but he keeps kind of making these little victories of like he clear a lane, but then there's 3 more.
Exactly, yeah. Little wins
and,
do
like,
not always equal the big win.
Another tank wipe out.
No, I think this is going to be. I think this is pretty much it. Kaninana hasn't successfully expanded in quite some time. Is now starting to lose some economy. 143 to 199 supply and ever dropping. I think Micro Machine is going to take game 1 here.
Yeah, it does look like it. If we got a similar, again, I think the way that he's playing, the map is very much in his favor. These like multiple up-down ramps with like chokes between them and all this stuff is probably in the favor of like the Terran player and particularly the air control player too.
Yeah.
Because you can just kind of bypass that when you need to.
There's a lot of big ramps on this map, aren't there? A lot of big open spaces. Yeah, this is a really big open map.
Yeah, it's just through the middle. And we've seen like bots fighting on this map almost tend to always get congested in the exact area they are, like in this middle up down stairs multi-choke area.
Yeah,
is where most of the fighting happens, and then you eventually get the breakthrough as we're seeing now. But yeah.
All right, well, Micro Machine will take game number 1 here and just needs one more to get to the round of 4. Kaninana is the last Zerg in the tournament. And if we're going to have any Zerg representation in the top 4, Kaninana needs to turn things around here. It's always the question, how do you beat Micro Machine? I don't think anybody has fully answered that question yet.
No.
Yes, there are times you can beat Micro Machine. There's ways you can get a win. But no bot can consistently beat Micro Machine. Well, I say that. I think Eris is one of the few that can consistently beat Micro Machine. Maybe Ketrock. Most of the time, I'd say Ketrock can beat Micro Machine,
Except
just not in this
today.
scenario.
Yeah.
Except for today, when you need it. That's how it works.
Yeah. I think the key is nobody's found like a stable way to do it.
No stable way. Yeah, exactly.
So when you try and make other changes to your bot, you occasionally fall back into not beating them anymore.
Yeah.
So like you'll find a way to do it, but then you're barely doing it. And so if you change anything, you can drift into a point of like, you need to win this battle exactly at this time to win. And then you change something and it doesn't win anymore. Or even down to the fact that we can change the maps that we're playing on and you lose now because you're only ever winning by the skin of your teeth on all these things.
Yeah. Well, I guess tier beats it every time, but it's a cheese, but it works apparently.
Yeah.
Again, but that's the thing.
That's usually how. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's usually how Micro Machine has been beaten. Is that people will snipe it and cheese it.
Yeah, that's one of the only consistent ways. Is you have to have almost a gimmick.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kaninana versus Micro Machine, game 2. Let's see what happens.
Kaninana. Micro Machine.
All right, Golden Aura for game number 2. This could be it. If Micro Machine wins and seals the deal. What did you say earlier? You're boxing now? You're a boxer? That's awesome.
Well, you can sit, but there's like a boxing bag behind me.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not like fighting people really. Like I'm just training it. Like
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, is that the plan though? Are you gonna start punching some people in the face?
I don't really think so.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe if we end up doing some sort of StarCraft 2 commentator box, nobody's as old as
I've never boxed. If you box and that's the one thing I know about boxing. If someone boxes and the other person doesn't, the boxer's gonna win.
Yeah,
so,
that's likely the case. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any intentions to fight. Especially it's probably tough to start in the like super heavyweight class.
Yeah, right.
At my age, but yeah.
What are you saying? We're old or something?
I don't know. You're younger. I'm not.
A little bit.
You're a bit younger.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I like some of that stuff, like the creator boxing, or like where it's like YouTubers and stuff. Some of that's fun when they're both like beginners and stuff. But yeah, but it's I like real box, like actual professional boxing is fun to watch. But
I like it better than MMA. That's for sure.
yeah, me too. Because
More technical.
The grappling and stuff, like it just goes to the ground and like whatever. Yeah.
All right, well, we got a little bit of a skirmish here, a little bit of a fight. The Reaper trying to tackle a drone is just going to shoot him with a gun instead. That's a little below the belt, but we'll take it.
It's also technical.
Technical foul.
It's better than grappling. There was going to be a grappling unit, but it got taken out of the game.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it like the yeah.
Herc, yeah.
The Herc, yeah. I missed the, what was the little dog or the panther thing or whatever the heck it was, the anti-ground just shredded zerglings.
Oh
God, what was that called?
I think it was called the Shredder, wasn't it?
Shredder?
Yeah, like the one that was just like the space control, like if you go into it you slowly die.
No, it was like a robot dog, and it just
Warhound.
That's what it was.
Oh
yeah,
the Warhound. That wasn't actually
The
a dog
space
though.
dog.
That was like the mini Thor.
Oh, that's right. The
It's the
Warhound
mini
was
Thor.
the mini Thor. What was
The
this?
Space
What was
Hound is in Stormgate. If you've played or watched that yet, they're in beta now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's there's more footage. In some of the alpha, they said like don't show anyone, but I think you can find a lot of the Stormgate people are streaming and stuff. So it's okay. But yeah, one of the main you start with one. So at the start of the game, you have a dog, or as one of the
Predator. I found it. Sorry.
What was that?
Predator was the space. Yeah, it's like a cat, like a metal saber-tooth tiger.
I don't think that was ever in. Yeah, it was in the campaign, right?
Yeah, it was campaign.
Yeah,
it was a campaign.
Never in the.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a
Wasn't
lot.
I thought it was on. I thought it was on ladder for a little bit.
Yeah,
maybe just a bit. I don't know. I might be making it up.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool units in the campaign that would be really interesting. There's the Diamondback tank, which is the tank that could fire while moving.
Yeah, that thing was OP as fuck.
that would
Jesus
ruin,
Christ.
yeah.
That would break the StarCraft
Yeah.
PvP scene. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we are. We've got things building up. Both bots just taking their time, doing their thing, doing a little bit of a macro game here. No early cheese, no aggression. We've got a third base already in the works, almost done for Kaninana. So we'll see how this pans out. Again, this is kind of that positioning where if Micro Machine can get in between that second and third base, that is just a killer spot to be. Yeah. But there's already creeps starting to take it over. So I think Kaninana is going to be able to hold this okay. Yeah, with drones transferring, it should be all right. Oh, here it comes, though. Here comes the first force. Nope, there goes the first force. Going back home.
May go. We'll see. Regrouping.
Right, here we try again. Round 2. He was waiting for the tank or something. I do like this spot. The rocks make this a little bit trickier for Zerg. Absolutely. Especially since we're still on just kind of ground Zergling Roach tech. But where are the tanks?
Yeah, the tank pulled back while the rest of it did not, which is not
doing, tank?
Yeah, if the tank had just gone to where it's clearly supposed to be.
What are you doing, tank?
Yeah.
Wants to go around the far side for some reason. Now he's just going to go home. He's like, okay, I guess I'll come to that.
All right, now he's there. It's a little late, but now he's there.
Out of range.
And you also want him at the top of this ramp, but that's fine.
I think we're just nitpicking now. Micro Machine is still winning the battle. The Marines and Marauders are starting to get picked off, but they're trading pretty well.
He's gonna. It's this burrowed roach. You can't kill them, so.
Tank. Oh, I guess we lost. Yeah. Might as well go home.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's gonna fight.
Yeah. But yeah, the burrowed roach thing just makes this invincible. So the moment you get into any sort of slower combat, you lose.
Oh, and he unburrowed as the siege tank unsieged.
Yeah.
and that tank will die without. I don't think that tank got one shot off.
I don't think so either.
Did it? Maybe one. No,
Yeah.
I don't think it even got one. I don't think
know.
it got a few shots in unsiege mode off, but that was it. Oh, anyway, okay, well, that was a bit of a flop out of Micro Machine. Not the best attack we've ever seen out of him.
Not,
but again, I think we nitpick a little.
Same thing as normal too. Of like, yeah, failed attack, loses everything. Army supply, exact same.
Same.
Doesn't
not
matter.
A huge deal. Not a huge deal.
Yeah.
And she trying to get a little bit of poke damage done, but will not because that's a lot of queens.
Yeah, queens and spars.
And overseers. Oh, is this Banshee stuck? No, he can go out to the right. I thought he was kind of stuck there. Get out of there! Ah. Okay, never mind. I thought there was like a queen more to the right for some reason. Anyway, all right, we're gonna have a little bit of a build-up again. I think Micro Machine's just gonna remass his army, maybe get a couple more tanks, and then push out for another attack. Kaninana really doesn't seem to be going on the offensive until much later.
Yeah,
seems to be just playing a lot more defensively. Wants to get that economy really established, which is important as Zerg. You really need to have that economy well established to be able to crank out army after army once you get into this stage of the game here. I don't know. I'm out of things to say. We usually don't cast this long, Undersword.
it's true, we don't. But yeah, it looks like Micro Machine kind of grouping back up for maybe another offensive. Let's see, it is obviously the case, at least so far, that the map has made a bit of a difference. That him struggling with this area has definitely been a big part of it.
Yeah, this is an interesting map as far as the high ground, low ground. It's very left, right, high ground, low ground. Like you get up on the high ground, but then you're just back down on the low ground if you go to the left a little bit.
Yeah, it's just speed bumps, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like speed bumpy a little bit. I mean, on each side you get up to that high ground, but just I don't know, just that middle thing really feels like a big speed bump to me.
And then the rocks there kind of cutting the top of a ramp.
Yeah, it makes another just a weird obstacle where you're fighting over it, and I'd say this is not a very Zerg favored map because of those things. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the increased choke make it hard for you to flood in. It makes good defensive positions and everything, but then the middle is very open, so that's kind of a counterpoint to it. It's Zerg can get map control, I think, a lot easier, but then can't push in. Site blockers on this too is an issue.
We're pushing in now. Zergling's going to trade for a few units. These Zerglings are gung ho. They all will die. What's our unit?
Roaches.
What's our resources lost here? Like, how even are we looking?
Roach is on the top here, getting
very even.
Some good work done. Yeah, quite. Roach is even in on a defensive tank here, but again, they pull back. They were in on it. Burrow movement is quite helpful.
Indeed. Oh yeah, if you're gonna go burrowed roaches, you better get that movement. Yeah. It's halfway. It's like getting Colossus without range or something. Might as well go the distance. Get it all. All right. Tanks are holding the line here. Micro Machine will not be broken easily, but Kaninana has started to push Micro Machine back onto his side of the map.
Yeah, and again, I think it's this thing of it's going to be hard for Kaninana to really push into where the bases are, but this opens, like, there's a lot of open space in the middle, and it's hard for Micro Machine to push through that. So, different parts of the map are going to favor the different sides. Coming in here now, again, into the natural and third, we get the standard Corruptor play.
Yeah, well, that's just in time. There's a battlecruiser out, so... We need to see some anti-air, some good anti-air that can deal with that, because if we just get a repeat of last game, we're just going to see these battle cruisers dominate and not get well, not dominate. They didn't die as much as they should have last game.
Yeah.
And that caused more problems for Kaninana than I think it should have. So we'll see here. Battle cruisers always a good unit against Zerg, in my opinion, especially in this scenario. Yeah, this Battlecruiser is just going to be able to sit overhead, picks away at a couple Hydras. Infestor does come in and has just enough energy for that Neural Parasite, and the Corruptors are going to target it down while it's Neuraled, so it does a lot of damage, teleports it back into the death field. See if it's enough. Yep, is enough to kill it.
That one will be.
Good
That's
job.
funny too, though. So did you see the reaction there? When he teleports the battle cruiser in, because there's a battle cruiser there now, he burrows all his drones.
Oh, really? That's hilarious. I
So
thought you were
that's-
saying because Micro Machine didn't move it or something.
No,
That is interesting
he-
too, how Micro Machine sometimes moves it and sometimes doesn't. Maybe he just realizes, oh, it's dead.
Yeah, it's too late. Yeah.
So he might as well just stand and fight. Yeah. All right, well, fighting for the middle of the map. These tanks are in a good spot as long as they have vision. They do have medevacs overhead, so they're going to be able to see past those sight blockers. There is an Overseer giving the Zerg a little bit of vision too, and the Hydralisks are actually going to crush through these fungal tanks. Isn't enough to break through, though. Oh, he gets a Neural on the tank. That's huge. That last Neural is pretty big. Oh, he's got even more
Neural on
Neurals. Check
BC
that out.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
That
This
is
one, yeah,
awesome.
that one's
These
gonna-
Neurals are clutch this game. They're really doing work this time around.
Yeah, this is a lot more effective.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Is Kane Nana gonna? Is he?
Yeah, and again, I think it's just because he controls the map. He's able to get on Micro Machine's side, whereas in the first game, because of the map design, Micro Machine was able to go into the middle of the map, take the center base, control the high ground with like 4 different paths to it, and then tank push out from those paths. Here, with a wide open middle, Micro Machine can't do that. Kanina is just everywhere, surrounding everything. The tanks can't block off huge parts.
Yeah, that might be it. Micro Machine dropping in supply down to 150. Battlecruiser is going to buy some time, but Kane Nana has a lot of money to mine, and is taking more bases as well. Those 2 corner bases on the left and the right, going to give him a lot of valuable income. Yeah, I think I broke through. Yeah, it's a good time to fast forward. Kane Nana is going to bring us to yet another ace match in what is the longest night of ProBots to date.
Indeed, a real.
We are all having a good time.
Indeed, we're gonna hit over 4 hours, I think, by the end.
That is a lot of good StarCraft content.
It is. It's fun. It's like the days that we've chosen to do the whole group. We're doing 5 matches instead of the normal 4, and then they've been like the longest matches in the world. I mean, this one.
I don't think they've been like this one's only.
No, it's it's not too bad, but yeah.
It's pretty average.
Good ones.
All right, well, we've got our final game loaded up. We have made it all the way to our last match of the night here, and we've got one more spot in that round of 4 for next week for Thursday.
Yeah.
And one more spot in the scrap pile. One of these bots will get tossed into that. I honestly don't even have a prediction for this. I have no idea which bot's going to take it. It's been so unpredictable. It's been so back and forth.
Yeah, we've seen it go both ways. Don't know whether Micro Machine will then change up what it's doing now that it's lost, or whether we're just going to get a similar thing, in which case I think it's map dependent.
Yeah, but I think some of it has been pretty map dependent.
Yeah, I think that first game was very, very map favored to Micro Machine, like quite a bit. So if they're just kind of generic, I think Kananana's got it. But we'll see, and we'll see if Micro Machine could completely change to like a Reaper Rush, like whatever, like mass Banshee builds, and we haven't seen anything like that.
Oh, you can't leave now. Mind me, there's only one more game. We've got viewers pooping out here.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our last match here and watch it at 2 times speed. Let's go.
Kaninana. Micro Machine.
Speaking of Mind Me, he should be joining us tomorrow for PostBots. This is perfect time to announce that because I forgot until just now. But yeah, join us for PostBots if you're in the Crown Club. Come into the Discord, hang out. It is open to all bot authors as well. It's kind of an open forum where we're going to be talking about some challenge that Drekken has created. I forget what it's called. I closed the screen. But basically, it is a bot challenge where you are going to come work on your bot and get it functional and get it working on our micro ladder that we have over at aiarena.net. That is just a very simple interaction. You get a small handful of units and you send them across the map to attack. That's it. That's as simple as it can be. You can obviously make it a little bit more complex and micro and try to do some cool stuff, but check it out. Come join us tomorrow. Same time, I believe, should be 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And we'll have author of Negative Zero, Mind Me, will be joining us to talk about all that. So hopefully we'll see some of you there. Yeah, again, that's open to all bot authors, Crown Club, whoever else manages to find their way into the Discord. I'm sure we can get you in there. So join us, and should be a good time. I might, if I have time, I'm going to try to swing by with my bot. I got it all set up and pretty much ready, but I have not given it any commands yet. All I want to do is tell it how to A move. So if someone can teach me how to make it A move, I'm set. I'll work from there. But anyway, join us tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, in the Discord. Get a link somewhere. I think below me there's one. All right, that's it. Is there anything else important? Because I'm just gonna forget after we start casting here and wrap it up. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Grand Finals, we talked about that. Grand Finals on Saturday next week. Make sure you're all here. 1 p.m. Eastern, I think he said.
Yes.
Sounds right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
This has been cool. Yeah, I'm tired, and this has been a long night.
I'm tired, but
this has been awesome.
They've been really good games, so there's not.
It's been worth it.
None of these have been boring. None of them have been predictable at all.
Oh yeah. No, well, I mean, I guess you're. Yeah, there's been a couple moments, but
yeah, maybe one or two. But like I'd say, for a number of these, particularly the longer ones, 10 minutes into the game, you still couldn't definitively say who was winning. Like it took a while for things to develop.
Grand Finals is a best of 5. Yes. Is the Final Four best of 5s as well? Yeah, that makes it because tomorrow.
So yeah, 4s is 5s. 4s is 5s, and the Grand is.
Oh, and then the Grand Finals best of 7. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Cool. Well, here we go. Reaper's getting some kills. I already got 2 drones picked off, or like a drone and a Zergling or something. Who knows? But it will get pushed away. The roaches are already out. Burrow being researched very early, it feels like, this time around. Is this earlier, or has this always been the
time? I guess it's been about this. Maybe it does feel early.
It started it for like 3 minutes. Like,
yeah.
That feels early.
I feel like he's got everything he had. Like everything's in the same basic place and time. I think it just kind of is, because there's no real prerequisite for it. Like too much anyway.
Well, that's why. So the finals, the best of 7 is separate from the round of 4 best of 5s.
Yeah.
So it will be 2 nights. Thursday, round of 4. Saturday, grand finals, best of 7.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. It's not all at once.
It's not all one night.
Yeah.
Want to make sure everybody understands what's going on and make sure we all show up at the right times and enjoy these matches because they're going to be good. Yeah, we've got a stacked and awesome round of 4 so far. Sharkbot, Benbot, they both bring us really fun games. And then Tier sitting there waiting as well. And then whichever one of these 2 makes it in, it's always a fun watch. Micro Machine is always just a fun, hard bot to beat because he's always being aggressive. He's always fighting. He's always doing something. Kami Nana's just looking so strong these days. I love the Burrow play, but every now and then it doesn't necessarily.
I found it weird the scan and then the Banshee leaving the moment he scanned.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
What was the point of that? But
here we go. The Burrow's working well here, though. It is protecting the queens from Banshee, it's actually really keeping the Banshee busy as well. He's just
Yeah.
shots on the queens.
It should, if it had just been shelling down on that hatchery the whole time, it might have been able to kill it by now. Although the queens could have popped up to transfuse as they're doing now. But yeah.
That was nice. That bought plenty of time to be able to get a spore crawler up, and now there's plenty of queens to be able to push this back and hold it at bay for now. But is Kaninana going to have the right response to this ground force coming across? I see a couple more, another roach in production. Oh, nope. Are you going? Are you going or staying, Micro Machine? What are you doing? Okay, he's attacking, I think.
I think he is. I mean, this was a very strong, like, mostly one base. He's expanding now, but that's fairly late for Micro Machine. So yeah, this has to do a bit of damage.
Wonder if he expected early aggression. Maybe he saw that early lair or something. Here we go. Off creep. The Zerglings will attack into the tank. If they commit, they will be able to get one tank. So that's nice. Even a few Marines for their trouble. Eventually, Micro Machine will be able to rally and continue pressuring here a little bit. But more and more Zerglings are on the way, so I think Kaninana's going to be fine for the time being.
Yeah, I think so too. He killed enough of the Marines there that there's not enough to really stand in front of this stuff. Mutalisk, say.
Oh, that's a switch up.
I don't.
With the up until the very end, we're getting surprises here.
I don't actually see any, but
I don't see any yet. The Spire just finished,
any?
Though.
Yeah.
So he's got to build up some resources to be able to get those Mutalisks out.
Yeah.
Man, a Mutaflock, when controlled by a bot, can be deadly.
Yeah.
So it'll all depend on if we get enough. We might not even.
Or if we get any. He just said it and like.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
He said it as like tag Mutalisk, which is usually what it will say when it like sees a unit, but like there aren't any, so I don't know.
Oh, you're not even against Deserve, yeah. So it had and it was right as the Spire was finishing. I thought.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We'll see. I'm holding out hope. I'd love to see a little Mutaball. We haven't seen a lot of Muta play, but again, if you get up to 10, 15 Mutas, when controlled by a bot correctly, you can really maximize some damage here.
Yeah.
Again, a bot can also just throw them all away into one Widow Mine. So.
Oh yes.
Very hit or miss.
That definitely happens. Yeah, it's easy to miss micro and just lose a ton of mutas.
Oh yeah.
But
a little bit harder as a bot because the bot can see the burrowed.
Yeah, but
stuff, right?
yeah, bot shouldn't have like moments of inattention, obviously, but it is still like you can just get trapped. And then it is.
Well, and it was all a lie anyway. We've got corrupt.
We're not getting any.
You wanted mutas? Too bad. Too freaking bad. All right. Micro Machine's gonna pull back home. It looks like. Both these bots seem a little bit. It really does feel like these two bots love to test the water against each other and just know just kind of push and wait until they really find that opening, and then they just crumple and steamroll the opponent. Then they just have too much. They too big of an army, too many bases. So it kind of feels like it comes down to who can expand and get their economy and army up faster, and just hold their ground. Those special tactics here.
Yeah, and so far nothing stopping Kaninana from doing that. Micro Machine taking him fourth, Kaninana on a sixth maybe, or is that just an over? I think 5 at least, and that's not just an overseer scouting for the future. Yeah, Micro Machine trying to find places. Here comes a big Ling Flood. Kind of coming through, looking to go probably after that fourth base.
Well, we'll see if they commit.
Yeah.
Here they come. All right, they usually do seem a little bit more aggressive than most of the other units. They're going to come in with the roaches to the north. They will get that siege tank on the ramp. That's nice. I don't think they're going to be able to pressure that planetary, though. As it just finishes.
No,
Oh, it's not done.
it's
Wait,
not.
oh, I thought
That's
oh,
not
it's
a
not even
planetary.
base.
That
Oh, I
that's
thought
a
it was a
CC.
planetary force.
Yeah, no, that's a CC. So it's not
Oh,
done yet.
snap.
So still some opportunity. I think
Right,
an
still
SCV coming down to tap it. Finish it.
My bad. Yeah, I thought it was transforming. Turns out it was still building, and the SCV either died or bailed on it.
Now it is
But, yeah,
transferring,
it was
but
getting
transforming to an orbital though.
Yeah,
And I think that one maybe should be a planetary, but
that would be. It feels like that would be a good spot for a planetary. All right, battle cruisers. Do we really have battle cruisers out already? Yeah, we do. Yamato's on the way. Micro Machine's trying to finish this off. He wants to win. He wants to move on. Obviously, he doesn't. He's a bot, but I'm. What's it? Personifying or
yeah,
anthropomorphizing Micro Machine here.
Yeah.
Man, these battle cruisers could be clutch. They're gonna get a corruptor kill there. It looks like Banshee's doing a little bit of work too. Cloak Banshee's always one of Micro Machine's staple units. When I think Micro Machine, I think Reapers and Cloak Banshees.
Yeah.
Those are my two
That's
first.
basically it. Yeah, neural parasite is being researched, but it's not there yet. It's about halfway done. So, yeah, this battle cruiser doing a fair bit of damage. But there's corruptors with queen support, so getting tied up with that.
Supply's starting to drop here. For Connie and Anna, battlecruiser teleports away. It's going to be able to go home and repair.
Yeah, it is, but I think this might be a temporary setback. I think he's going to be able to kind of regain the middle here, but I don't know. Got a big Ling Flood being made, 44. Also 6 infestors. And I think kind of when they're there now with the neural, we may get a bit of a counteroffensive here.
For who? For Connie and Anna?
For coming on it. If he can clear out this mid position again.
I don't know that he can.
Yeah, I don't know.
This it seems pretty entrenched with this battle cruiser overhead. Oh, the queens are holding the line.
I'm waiting for this. Yeah, the neural on the two battle cruisers is what I was waiting for.
Hold on. Wait,
did he shoot the
Yamato before the neural?
I think he did. Yeah.
We need a replay of that. If you
I think it was underway.
So yeah, the infestor neuraled the battlecruiser, but then the battlecruiser Yamato the infestor that was neuralated. So yeah, must have shot that Yamato off right before it got. But it still would have counted as a friendly fire because it's basically queued up the Yamato. But then it was the Zerg's unit, but you can't stop the... Or, no, wait, you can stop the Yamato, right? I think you can hit escape and cancel it. But it didn't, obviously. So there you go. There's one more thing to add to your Neuroparasite code. Cancel the Yamato if it's targeting the infestor that's neuraling the battlecruisers.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a weird... Yeah, that's just a random scenario. Anyway, I'm fixated on it. Micro Machine's trying to break through right down the middle here. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Connie Nana has restabilized and kind of gotten back up in supply a little bit here, so...
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. As soon as the infestors got that neural parasite, I figured they would kind of relieve the pressure on that middle situation. Connie Nana's still not really on like the offensive or anything, but it's kind of taken the foot off his neck and he's more comfortable again.
Yeah, definitely give him a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, but there's still a few good chokes here, like these up and down ramp little death pots, like where you've got 4 ramps going down and Connie Nana wanders into the middle. That's not a great tactical place to be.
Not at all.
Yeah, getting on top of one of those tanks though, and if he can push it away from his own bases again, then I think he'll be a good position. But he's kind of got to now get to the point that you're now on Micro Machine side of the map and actually making pressure there. And
again, I think he kind of is.
He may
We've got Hydras on that side trickling in.
Yeah.
Just barely, yeah, not like substantially though. Yeah, Kaminana needs to group up, get a big force, and then make something happen. Get one of those outlying bases, maybe.
Yeah.
One of
If you
those-
could get the creep going again too,
keep going, that'd be
'cause,
nice.
yeah, there's a nice neural, or not a neurofungal on the bottom right side. And fungals definitely against marines, much more effective than ghosts that we were seeing earlier. Nice. Neural to the death camp. But is it enough? Five, but then some corruptors and queens there too.
I'm going back. I'm looking on the stream. I'll watch the replay of that. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, so just skirmishing. I think we're still relatively even here. There's a couple bases still up for grabs that I think can, make a difference in this, because I think we are getting to that like attrition point to decide this. Neither of them really doing much beyond this middle section, whereas we often see both of these kind of have large detachments to the side, but they're not really striking at bases yet. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Like, there's usually something that draws their attention somewhere, and then you end up getting a stream to that side. But that hasn't happened yet. It is fun. I think what keeps happening, and I'm seeing it happen on the mini map, is he's keeping all his overlords at the home base. Whenever he teleports a battleship there, they all run away.
Oh yeah.
They all run away from the battle cruiser that he brings in. Yeah, like this.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's funny.
And then as soon as
I
it
mean, it
dies,
makes
they come
sense.
out.
Would you want to be near a battle cruiser if you were an overlord?
I wouldn't,
I don't think so.
but then I wouldn't put the overlords in the place that I keep teleporting the battle cruiser to. Yeah. Okay, a bunch of I was gonna say a bunch of tanks. Just one of them goes down.
That is exactly what happened. So yeah, he set off the Yamato, then narrowed, and then ate the Yamato.
Yeah, makes
Awesome.
sense.
That was fun to watch. Okay. Anyway, I can move on with my life. Here we go. Micro Machine Kaninana are still duking it out. Still no sign of the end, Endersword. Well, actually,
no, there's not. Micro Machine is dwindling, and yeah, he's hitting limits on mineral income, and
well, you say that he's actually got more mineral income than Kaninana still.
Income, yeah, he doesn't have a bank though, and his supply count is much lower.
That's all. It comes kind of down to that gas again too. The battle cruisers are very gas intensive.
Yeah, Army's 2-1 here now, and it looks like he has broken through.
Wow, and just like that, that's it. Kaninana's broken through.
Yeah, I think it really is just, if you look at the three maps, they're very, very similar, but it's going to be, like, what they did is similar, but the maps themselves made the difference.
Oh, totally.
That's now just picking it apart. And now he's everywhere. Now that he's kind of broken through that middle, yeah, he's at every base. He's everywhere.
He is everywhere all at once. Yep. That decides it, Endersword.
Yep.
We have our final top 4 bot for next week. Kaninana will keep the Zerg dream alive by taking out the final mini boss of Micro Machine here. Round of 8. That was not easy. That was not an easy win for Kaninana. It did not feel easy. It definitely was well deserved. That was well played and some awesome stuff with the Neurals. That definitely it felt like a razor's edge a little bit. The Neurals sometimes did really well, sometimes not so much.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, in one sense, I think in the first game, the Neurals were almost like a self-sabotage in a way.
Yeah,
it was just putting battle cruisers in your own base and then not killing them is definitely something. But well fought in the end.
Some great stuff. Yeah, we definitely saw some interesting things tonight. I'll have to go back and watch some of these games a little bit again. yeah, go watch all the games up until now. If you've missed anything, we've had a great tournament so far, and we're almost done. One more week, Undersword. We're gonna do our round of 4 on Thursday of next week, same time here. Normal broadcast. We'll have. I don't even know. Do we have the bracket for next week? Who we watching next week? Who goes against who? I know we've got Sharkbot, Benbot, Tier, and Kaninana all in the top 4, but I don't know how they go up against each other.
We've also been verbally saying 1 p.m. EST, but I noticed the ticker below us says 12 p.m. EST.
One of us is lying. It's up to you to find out who.
It just changed. It just changed. Somebody deleted it too.
This is gone.
Live. All right. Good graphics control.
Good stuff here. But yeah, well, if they pull it up in time, we'll take a look at next week's matches. But do know that we've got 2 best of 5s next week, and it should be awesome. We've got 4 great bots that have made it into the top 4 here. They're bringing us some amazing builds and some really fun games this season, and I'm excited to watch it, and hopefully you will be too. And then on Saturday, our grand finals, make sure you join us, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll have humans versus bots. We'll have whichever 2 bots remain going up against each other in a best of 7. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm tired. So I'm going to, unless they pull the graphic up right now, I'm just going to go ahead and close the show out. And we'll hopefully see you all next week for our round of 4. Again, congratulations to all the bots who have made it. Big thank you to all the bots that did not make it. But did participate. Again, amazing games this season, all the way from the beginning up until now. We've seen some really cool stuff. But again, Sharkbot, Benbot, Tier, and Kaninana will be our final 4 bots for our Sideloaded season 2023 here on ProBots. Endersword, anything you want to say?
No, I'm done.
I'm done too. Good night, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you for sticking with us for this long. Hopefully you enjoy the VOD if you are watching there. Again, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Get us some visibility. Get more people watching ProBots here on YouTube. And with that, we'll see you all next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. All right. Have a good night. Bye. My voice is shot. Quit.